topic, right? So again, I'm repeating this training, okay, would be on Git. Most of the guys are also with us in the DevOps specialized track. So in the DevOps, there's a multiple tools. One of the tool is Git. So those guys who are on the DevOps track, the Git content will be covered in this training, right? And then we have a separate class on Ansible. Then again, we are starting today. Then we have separate class for Jenkins. I think you guys have the agenda with the timeline. We have already shared with you guys, right? So let's continue, guys. So I'm going to start the Git from very much from the zero, right? So the concept that I'm going to explain you, then this is the only time we are going to invest some small time as a theoretical perspective, as a concept perspective. Otherwise, after knowing this concept, we will likely jump to the lab and start practicing and doing a lot of things over there, right? Okay. But the concept that I'm going to explain you, it is very much critical and very much important to know these particular concepts, I can say, because if you again, I'm repeating, guys, the concept that I'm going to explain you right now, just please focus on this concept. You might feel you know the Git, you might feel I know these concepts maybe, but I can give the guarantee we feel it, we know, but mostly I've seen, especially in the corporate world, by training a lot of principal consultant or DevOps engineers, and they feel they know, but while when they listen to me, this concept, they feel, oh, it's very different thing. I thought Git work in this way, but this is the actual way, right? And if you know these base core concepts of the Git, okay, I can give the guarantee none of the advanced concepts of Git looks advanced for you in the future. It will be everything in the future in any of the advanced topic Git will look very simpler to you, right? If you know the concept. So working on the stashing, working on the rebashing, working on merge strategy, you will see that will be the then piece of cake for you guys. Okay. So focus on this basis concept, I can say the core concepts of the Git. Okay, so let me start in this way, right, step by step, so you guys can comfortable what is happening. Okay, so idea is something like this, right? If you have certain data, okay, it will be any kind of data, and normal text data that is normally there in your documents, right? Or the data may be a code, because code is also like a data, right? Your C++, C or Java, Python code, that is also a data. And this data is again there in file, and those file you guys know is known as programming file. My point here is, right, whatever kind of data you have to keep the data in the file. There's no other way to manage the data. I'm talking more about if you want to keep the data in your storage or in your hard disk. So if you want to put your data in your hard disk or storage, okay, you have to first create the file, and inside the file only you can put the data. There is no other way to put the data. For example, it may be a programming file also. This is one thing. Second thing is all depend upon your data, or all depend upon your file. How critical your data is, how critical your file is. It may be your programming file. So if you are the developers, so for the most, maybe the important critical thing, maybe your file that is called programming file, because in the programming file you have your code with you. Okay. So let's focus on the developer. Let's say you are the developer, you have a programming file. Inside the programming file, you have a code in, let's say, Python language or Java language, right? Now, it is all depend upon the sensitivity of the code. What I mean by this, if you think this code is very much critical for you, all right? So it's a very common thing. We keep on doing a backups, right? So we keep on doing a backup. Why I say keep on doing, right? It's not one time. I'm saying keep on doing. What I mean by here is okay, because as a developer, what developer do? They open this program file or programming file. open the file. Let's say they write first line of code or some function they created. That function is also known as algorithm they created. So let's say they write some for certain lines of code, right, and they save the file, right. And this is the first day they have done this. Then again they come on second day, they also write second line or second paragraph or second function or the method of the class, whatever you guys know. They write some more code. Okay, so there might possibility, right. I'm just focusing on one area. We slowly build multiple things on top of this. Just so I'm just building in such a way this concept that I'm just thinking in the mind that you guys are very new in this tool of versioning controlling. So we are going to, in some minute, we're going to understand what is SCM, what is VCS, what is distributed version controlling, what is centralized version controlling, and much more concept, snapshots and some more concept slowly, step by steps. Okay, so these are the let's say you are doing this perform, right, but you might feel as a one simple scenario that maybe where I'm keeping my file, my program file, where I'm keeping in my hard disk, there might be possibility, not guarantee, but there might be possibility my hard disk might crash and then I will lose my data. So it is good practice in that context. It's one of the contexts I'm talking about, to keep on having the backup of your file. Okay, but the backup would be not the one time we have to keep on doing. Okay, for example, today, this is the first day. Let's say I'm taking this day is 26th of Feb. So just today you create this code, and what you do, you create one backup. So this is the backup number one, B1 you created. Okay, then tomorrow you change something in this code, because way we write that code as a developer, we keep on updating the code, editing the code, depend upon to and optimizing the algorithm or optimizing the code or some extra feature I want to add. More feature we added here, and let's say this is the 27th day, tomorrow for example, and you added something, and again whatever change you want to do, again backup. Okay, now there's a two-way. Either whatever backup you created yesterday, B1, right, that is let's say 26th, right, this backup you overwrite. Either you can do in this way, or good practice and good planning would be, rather than you override, you can create one more backup that's called B2, new backup. Create a separate copy of the backup for on 27th. Okay, and why this is a good practice? Because there might possibility whatever change you do today, okay, you change something in the code, and as a developer perspective, this is a very common thing. Whatever change you do today, possibility maybe your today's code might corrupted something. Okay, so maybe you have tested your code yesterday, 26th, everything worked fine. You run your code, you test your code, everything worked fine. But today you change something, and we don't know what change we did in this entire big code, because it's not that simple code. It's maybe thousands of pages of the code. We don't know what part we have changed in the code. So if you override the new code with the older backup, right, your older backup will be gone, and maybe this new thing what you change, it might not work. So there's no way we can go back. To see the last code. So I think you understand what I'm talking about. So it's good practice to create a separate backup file. Okay, so if this backup, whatever I'm doing here, it is not working. Okay, the thing is not working. So we have an older backup with us. We can just go and use this backup. Okay, and this concept normally known as roll back. So we can roll back to this particular backup. Okay, to see what was working fine, and we also see the difference. Also, yesterday this backup has 10 lines, this backup have now 12 lines. So we can see the difference also between backup 1 and backup 2. So see the difference, what I did, what change I had done, because B1 backup working fine, B2 is not working fine. So I focus more on those differences, and then as a developer, I use my mind to rectify the issue. This is one of the things. Otherwise, there will be a lot of more things we can do with this backup. Okay, now the challenge here is, okay, so again, we are just slowly moving to the Git. This is not the Git, right? I'm just giving you some information so you can, and sometime you can relate by these concepts what exactly Git is doing. Okay, so why we are doing multiple backups? Okay, so we have all the days copy. Anytime we can go to particular date and see at that point in time what code we have done, what changes we have done, so we can see the difference, if something not working, something working fine, or maybe I have to share some information to my other developer, other team, that this change I have done in my code that makes my code optimized. You can also take that difference part in the code, or maybe any kind of other scenario also. Okay. Let me take one more point here. Let's say next day, 28th, I had done some more changes. That's third changes we have done here, right? And then same thing, I'll keep on doing the backup. And why we keep on doing the backup? One of the reason of doing the backup is if I lose my storage, my hard disk, then the entire code, or not and only the code, entire document data uh, will be gone. This is one of the reason. But one more great reason of having the backup is, now because of backup, we keep on storing the per day information or per hour information, depend upon how frequently you keep on changing the code. Okay, per month, per week also, how frequently you're changing the code. Or it is normally the pattern is, we write some code, we write some function, we write some method. It's called algorithm. If we feel now this part is done working fine, let's create a one copy, let's create one backup, let's do some more changes. Okay, now I'm done by one more idea, one more feature, what is called feature, let's create one more backup. So this is, frequencies depend upon code to code and software to software development, right? So one more benefit of having the backup is, if some of the at point in time, if something might not work, so we can have the backup with us. We can go back, let's go roll back, and start working from there also. This is one of the things. But in this scenario, what I'm talking about right now, in this scenario, we have one small challenge, right? The challenge is, right now, let's say our frequency of doing a backup is 1 hour. Every hour I want to do a backup. And let's say my software complete development might take, let's say, 1 year or 1 month. So think, guys, how many backup you have to create. And you have to create, there's no other alternative way. You have to create the backup. Okay, for every hour basis, for example, this would be a frequency of your backup, right? But the only challenge is, let's say this entire code or the file in the program, let's say they're, just for example, let's say their size of the entire data is 1 GB. Okay, now the code don't have, never be a 1 GB mostly, but let's say, just for example, your code or the entire program, you might have multiple files also, and let's say the entire size is 1 GB. It means, right, it means if you just change something in a smaller part of the code, right, a smaller part of the code, one minute, a smaller part of the code, right? And because we are following this strategy of keep on having the backup. Why? One of the reason I told you is we can do rollback, or as a backup copy we need. So after doing some changes every hour, we keep on doing the backup. It means this first backup almost going to consume 1 GB. Again, we are doing backup, same data, we keep on doing the backup, 1 more GB, or again around 1 more GB. Just by changing small lines on some KBs, we keep on doing the backup 1 GB, 1 GB. It means if your frequency is per hour, one backup, so in a day, 24 hours, 24 GB, you consume just for the backup, and you calculate by for the year and the month, depend how many backup you are going to do. So point here is, this way of backup we need for sure, but this way of doing the backup is won't be a big deal, is a big deal, I can say, right? It's not the better way to do. Okay, so my point here is, we want to save the storage. This is unwanting wasting your final storage. Obviously it comes with cost. Okay, plus a lot of other issues also you will face. Okay, it will also slow down multiple things also. There's also one challenge you will face, right? So we have to use certain strategy that I can do a backup, I can have multiple backups, right? To we can see the difference of the backup. The difference sometimes, guys, also known as delta part means in the B1 backup you added some certain lines, in B2 backup some more lines you added or removed. So whatever things you change, that is called difference, and difference is also known as delta. Okay, so we need a backup to see the delta. We need a backup every hour over day to see the difference, right? But how to optimize the storage, that's what the point is. Okay, so we can do something like this. If I draw one more quick diagram here, we can do something like this. And guys, right now I'm not checking any Q&A and the chat messages, so I'll complete my one topic. Let's understand the complete flow. When my respective particular topic completed, then I will go for the Q&A to check your query. Or this training is for 4 hour per day basis, means Saturday Sunday. So every in 4 hour we do a one break in between. Before the break I will open the Q&A, and before the completion of training I will open the Q&A. That point in time, if you have any query, you can ask me. I will try to take as much as query to solve your points. Okay, so what I'm talking about, how we optimize the storage, right? So idea would be something like this. Let's say this is your code, your programming file, or maybe any kind of data. It's not only the code, it will be any kind of document, right? uh, especially the text document, right? So what can we do? Let's say we write first lines of code. This is the first line, and let's say after this line I want to do a backup, right? So this is the first backup we have created. Okay, then what I'm doing, we are doing, let's say this is the 26th today, and tomorrow 27 will add one more line of the code. Okay, so what can we do? As a file perspective, this is one single file having two different lines or two different code type part of code, right? Is one single file. But if you do a backup, okay, this entire file entire file we have to do the backup. Okay, but point here is I want to save my storage. So we know already the file one or some lines is already been backup yesterday, that is on 26 in the B1. Okay, so there's no meaning to do the same backup again, even though we know this one single file, but there's no meaning to do the backup again that is already exist. Okay, so we have to use some kind of intelligence here. Intelligence means we want somebody who keep on tracking. Okay, this concept of tracking come in play. And there's one more concept that we can also use a concept called indexing, right? So what index and tracking means here is we want somebody or some kind of program, some kind of internal program who keep on tracking, or he keep on checking that whatever data you have till here has been already backed up yesterday. We have this copy with us in B1. I want to do one more time backup. Why? I explained to you. Okay, I want one more time backup, but there's no meaning to do the same data backup in B2. It is already exists in B1. There's no meaning to do a backup again one more time. Okay, only thing that we have to do backup is whatever things we added extra, that's called difference part or the delta part. Only this thing we have to do backup. So this is the role of the tracker. They keep on checking what part you added extra. That part we have to do backup. So tracker is keep on tracking, and they keep on using some kind of internal tags. This is normally known as flag. They keep on adding a flag. Let's say A means we added something or appended something, right? Right. So now this time on 27, let's say after 1 hour or 1 day, when you do the backup, they again do a backup. They create new backup B2. Okay, but here in the B2, it look like we are doing entire backup, but it's not. Only the delta part or the difference part they will do the backup. Okay, but interesting thing is, if you go to the storage level, hard disk level, and try to find out the total space consumed by B2, so technically B2 is only consuming this much space of the second line. But if you try to read the file, let's say some command like cat command, right? Cat is command Linux to read the file. But if you try to read the file data from this backup, the interesting thing is internally they are storing only this part, the delta part. or the difference part. But if you try to read this file with cat or any of the text editor or the IDE, what you will see, you can see the entire file, because for us, we are doing a backup to back up the entire file. But interesting thing is, storage, they only consume that much small space of kilobyte or maybe some bytes, only difference part they store. But when we try to read this backup, they will show me all the file. How is possible? Because this backup internally they linked with this backup. This backup. So it is something like this. This backup is known here is known as parent backup. You can think this is kind of child backup, something you can give this term here. So when we try to read the file or cat the file or read the file with any of the notepad, for example, text editor, okay, what B2 do? B2 first go to B1. Internally is not visible. They were doing this operation internally. You can think those who by chance know DSA, data structure algorithm. So you can think this kind of links they do with linked list as a data structure, just for knowledge. Even though if you doesn't know, don't worry, don't pressurize your mind to focus on this topic if you don't know. Okay. And anybody who know linked list, this is one node, the second node, they create a link with a linked list, and internally they create this entire data in a tree data structure. Those who know data structure, they might know tree. So technically there's a tree data structure they use. So, but that's not the important thing to know in the GitHub. I'm just giving for your extra knowledge. So what happened? Whenever you read any file, first they go to the parent. Okay, the tree word is not a top node because you might have multiple backup, B3 also. So B3 will connect to B2, B2 will connect to B1. So you go to parent and ask parent, in your storage, how much data you have. They said these are the much data we have. So let me first print this lines, use this line. Then after they provide their entire storage, then we move to B2. How many lines you have? They say I have added some new lines. So these are the extra lines we have. So this plus this together will show in your text editor. So finally, it looked like we have the entire data in one single B2 storage, but internally they are not storing the entire data. They're storing the delta part or the difference part. So finally, it will save your storage. So storage problem has been solved. Okay, it's not about storage only. If you keep on doing the backup, same thing, it will also impact the time also, because doing the backup also take the time, right? So it will save your time also. Okay, plus the need of backup is been solved because I need a backup of every point in time. So that's also solved. And guys, this concept is also known as point in time backup. Point in time, right? So we are doing point in time, every point in time, what are things has been changed, that part only we're doing backup, but it look like we are doing the entire backup, but technically internally they only that point in time, what are things has been changed, they are doing the backup. Or in this context, if you're doing the backup of only of the delta part and keep on connecting behind the scene these two backups, right, to look like as a one single data. So that is a reason this kind of backup is not known as backup, right? In this world and in this kind of concept, backup is technically known as snapshots. So we keep on taking the snapshots, the copy only on the differential part. So now onward, I'm not going to use the term backup, right? Backup typically means copying everything again and again. That is typical meaning of the backup. But if you are doing a backup only the delta part, then this kind of backup is known as point in time backup, or you can use the term called snapshots here. Okay, so B1 is one snapshot, B2 is a one snapshot. One more interesting thing that might come in your mind is, okay, what if on the 26th, right, we are doing some change, we have added some lines, doing a backup V1 or the create a snapshot of B1. Okay, then next day, 27, okay, rather than we added some line, we might remove some line from here. With this, the coding we are doing, we have to remove some lines also, modify some lines also, right? So what if we modify, remove some line from here? So there's nothing we have appended. Okay, what we have done, whatever data we already had in 26, we added, so we edited some data or remove some particular lines. Okay, so again, this the beautiful thing about of the tracker is they know. Okay, they know what exactly we are doing on the file. Okay, because they know from B1 how many lines they had, right? So trackers keep on checking, comparing. Okay, they say in the B1 first backup, initially let's say you put 5 lines. 5 lines. Okay, next to 27. Okay, rather than you add a new line, one of the line from the 5 line you have removed. So what the beauty of this tracker is, right, or the indexer is, they keep on updating and say, I know line number third has been deleted. I know line number fourth has been modified. Okay, the deleted means entire line deleted, or modify means they modify with some other text. So trackers keep on tracking everything. Okay, now in this case 127 means next day after doing this changes, when you again do a backup, that's called snapshot B2 created. But in this B2, okay, there is no data appended. So there's no B2 backup doesn't contain any data. What B2 contain, they only contain this kind of flag. This flag is also known as a marker. So they added this marker in their storage and say line number 3 has been deleted, or maybe we added something as a modifier. So we say fourth number line has been modified with some kind of new data, or maybe we added some more thing here. There's A, so they write A here. Line number 7 we added with this new lines and new lines of code. Okay, guys, this is called marker, or maybe it was sometimes known as flag. Okay, so backup is not only, or snapshot is not only contain the data, they also contain the marker. Okay, why we need this? Because because we are not doing a full backup here. So in the future, if anybody try to read a file from this backup 2, because this is the latest backup or snapshot we have. Okay, so what I want that point in time, what is the latest data I want to see. Okay, so how they do, again they do the same operation. The B2 go to B1 and say B1 how many data you have. This I have 5 lines. So so my program before they give the this 5 lines to my cat program or my any IDE, what this the snapshots do, right? They will go to B2 and they check, does we added more line? Yes, so I will also give one more line. But does we modify this line? Yes. So before they give line number 4, they will give the modified data. So internally they do this operation. Before they give the older data, they give the newer data. Or before they give the line number 3rd, they will delete, because we have given this marker 3, so they will delete this. So technically, when we presented our data to our text editor, we are giving the updated copy. So final file would be first line, second line, third line is gone because we added here. 4 line we give modified one, 5th line, 6th line, 7th line we give this added one. So for the user perspective or my developer perspective who are using this data, they will see the exact copy what is visible in this 7th of 27th of date. They will see the updated copy of it. Okay, so this is, guys, how the concept work. It is now, this is not only the concept work in Git. I'm going to Git. I'm just giving some information to you. So anybody who are from IT background, this is the very common thing you guys might have seen in backup and snapshots, and these are very common activity happening. Okay, but why I'm discussing this point to you, because Git is exactly working in this way. Only the term is difference in the Git. In the Git, we use different term or vocabulary, but idea is exactly the same. Okay, what I mean by this, in this Git, in the Git world, if you talk about Git as a tool, okay, what Git will do, we have a lot of features Git will do. I'm just keep on giving one by one features, and by today and you will come to know almost all the main feature of the Git, so I can summarize that point in time, and that point in time you will comfortable with why Git is SCM tool or VCS tool. What is those tools or concept also we will understand. Okay, now in this entire concept, if you talk about the Git perspective, wherever we as a developer work, or wherever we keep on doing something directly on a file on our data, Okay, so this part where we actually putting our main data, keep on changing the data. So this area or this part is known as working area. Okay, here this is the one thing where we as a developer work. So this area we're keeping our data, we keep on changing the file. Okay, after this we are doing the backup. So this area is known as working area. Sometimes it's also known as WIP, work in progress area. Okay, this is called working area. Okay, sometimes also known as working directory. Okay, workspace also you can use. But after you doing backup, okay, this B1, B2, they store in some specialized area. Obviously, they consume extra space, but they store in some specialized area. Okay, that area you can use a snapshot area. There's also a term you can use, but in the Git, this area is normally known as a commit area. Commit area. Okay, so commit is a one area where they are putting this. And why they use the word commit? Because whenever you do a backup, that I told you guys that backup is not a snapshot. So in the Git world, you are trying to tell that this part is done, this code is done. I feel my code has been completed. I want to create a snapshot of backup. So I want to commit this. For me, it has been done. This part is done. So 26 code is done, or 26 date code is done. So I would like to say thumbs up and means I'm committing right now. So typically in the Git world, right, this B1 is called snapshot, or maybe we can use backup, but typically doing this operation, okay, performing this operation is known as commit. So we are committing, means this code I want to do a backup, I want to commit this. And that is one of the reason why this is known as commit area. This one thing. Okay. But if you guys try to visualize your B2 the way I explained to you, okay, when you do a second backup, for example, okay, this time we are only doing the delta part, and not only the delta part, we are also storing the markers. It means we need something or somebody who keep on tracking in our working area what lines we have changed, added, updated, deleted, right? All the things we need some tracker who check. So when I do one more time backup, that's called snapshot, that's called commit. When I do this operation called commit, creating this backup, we need somebody who guide us, okay, to what data to store, what marker to store. Okay, that who is doing this? This tracker is doing. So what is tracker is one kind of program, but technically, if you think about as a programming perspective, it means there's some kind of data into their management, right? Not I can say data, they are maintaining some kind of information here. Information also known as metadata, but better term would be information here. They're maintaining some information. It means this file, we change something, delete something. So they are maintaining this information. So it means whenever I'm doing commit, okay, commit will always check this information. Okay, and what this information maintain? They maintain that in this file that you're doing to backup, this line number 3 is deleted, line number 4 is updated with this data. So commit, technically I can say, technically uh, first check this information, right? And based on the information they store in the B2. Okay, and this area where we are storing the information, who is storing your tracker, right, are maintaining the information, right? This area is also have a name, and this area is known as staging area. And guys, this is the main use and working of the staging area. Staging area will do some more thing, but this is the main use of the staging area. And that is a reason, okay, why commit only read the data from the staging area. And it is also compulsory why we have to put our data always in the staging area. What I mean by this, when I properly show you the entire diagram, you will understand what I'm talking about. But I'm trying to rate those who by chance know Git. Okay, I'm just giving this information to them. Otherwise, I will explain to you also. So in the Git, if you want to commit something, it is compulsory to put the data in the staging area. Why? Commit, the way the Git has been created, okay, commit always read the data from the staging area. Okay, commit has no way directly to get the data from the working area. Why? Because working area has no tracker. This is normal, if I open my notepad, I'm opening here, I'm working here, this first line, second line, third line. This is my working area, working progress area. If I delete this line, nobody here to track. If I deleted this line or modify this line, maybe in the ID you can do undo, there's a different point. But as such, as a Git perspective or other kind of tool perspective, there's no one who is tracking what part I have changed. Okay, so we need tracker. Okay, and where the tracker run or where tracker store the information, I can say, right, in store the information, what part is we keep on changing. They're only maintaining the information, right? They're not maintaining the data, they're only maintaining the information. So that is there in the staging area. Okay, and when we try to do a backup of this file, there's a called commit. Okay, my commit will come to this information, this staging here, and say, now I want to do a backup too. Can you tell me with you from a tracker, from the information, what part is being updated? This is delta part. Can you tell me accordingly I will store that will the remaining delta part here. Okay, that is one of the reasons why we have a staging in between. So finally, if I try to conclude very quickly, we as a developer, all right, we're a developer, you have some data. Okay, and guys, you told you data is always in the file. So you have file 1, you might have more files, file 2, you have more file 3. Okay, one file maybe images or videos or text file, code file. Okay, and you guys know one more thing, if you multiple files, you store normally all the file in one folder. Okay, and the folder where you store the file, for the developer perspective, they are known as workspace. So there's a workspace, and in this workspace, we are directly working on this file of changing the code. So that is a reason this folder is also known as work in progress folder, or maybe it's also known as a working area. Multiple names they have, what I want to use, all the names are right. Okay, but if developer want to use Git for what, for this purpose, and if I give this purpose a name, okay, so we are doing backup 1, backup 2, backup 3. Why we're doing this? Because on 28th, if I want to go back, I want to see what data I had in B1, because at that time one of my features working fine. In B3, that function, my algorithm, that feature is not working fine. I don't know what I change here in my code. I want to see the difference. So because we have B3 backup, we have B1 backup, we can see the difference, and accordingly we change the code, or we will, whatever I want to do, you can do. Okay, so that is one of the reason I explained you already. So my point here is, so what we are doing here on 28, we have a different data, 27 we have different data, B1 we have a different data. So typically there's one more term you can use here. Okay, whatever data we have over here on 26, we create a backup or snapshot. How? Why doing a commit. Okay, so typically this part is also known as version. So we create a first version of our code, version 1. Then 27, we do some more changes, some more edit, whatever deleted, we create one more backup. So we can use one more term here called, we have created version 2 of our code, then version 3 of our code. And why we get the version, same logic. I can do go back, or that's called roll back. Okay, this thing. So by this operation, what we are doing, okay, we are maintaining the version, and we are controlling the version. This is called version control system, VCS. So by this process, we are maintaining or controlling the version. So this system is called VCS, version controlling system. Okay, and if you're doing this version control system in the software part or coding part, okay, software code part, okay, so this way we are managing this version, guys. This version can give you a lot of more benefit. I'm just giving one simple example here just to explain you as we go and progress. Okay, having this version will give open a lot of possibilities in the terms of maintaining your source code. Okay, we can do lots of management in the source code, in the team collaboration perspective, project management perspective. As we go and progress in this course, I will explain you a lot of fantastic use cases on this, right? So if you want to do entire source code management, it's called SCM, right? Having the version control is very critical, VCS. So if you want to implement VCS, you really need some code. So we need some kind of program, okay, that is more related to developer, because developers are the one, or software engineers are the one who are more concerned about in the management of your source code. Okay, and one of the most critical part in the source code management is having the versions. If you have the versions, tons of things you can do, what we will see. Okay, so we have one tool, one software available, it's called Git. Git is one of the tool, otherwise there are more tool available in the market, but Git is now very famous, so we are focusing the Git, and we are in the Git training also, right? So with the help of Git, they give you a capability to maintaining the versions, so creating the snapshot or creating the different commits. Okay, and if you have versions with you and you can control the version also, what I mean by control, we'll see again what can you do in controlling the versions. So entire management of your source code would be very simple. So don't worry guys about this term called SCM and VCS. I just want to introduce very quickly, but as I progress in this training, I keep on talking about this term, and more in future when it's is going to come, you become more and more comfortable with this term called SCM and the VCS. There's one more term gonna come up called DVC or CVCS. We also talk about those terms with the pure practical hands-on. Okay, but right now we have a Git. Git is a one software. Okay, Git is one software, and because this software, you have to install the software. And how to install, I think guys, in your learning management portal, where you guys, we have given the portal to you in #13, I have shared one video where I explain you how to install the Git. Okay, otherwise by chance if you missed that video, just go to the video. Otherwise, what can you do, just go and search Git download. Okay, and there's one link come up. In this link, they give the options you have to download for which OS. In my case, I'm using Windows, so I'm downloading from the Windows, but if you have Mac and Linux, you can download for that OS. So click on download, double click and install it. But in my video, I show you how to download, how to install. Nothing special, just click next and it will install for you. In my case, Git is already installed. Okay, I'm not wasting my time for installation part. Okay. Second thing is, after you install the Git, because Git is software, Git will give you your own black screen that's called terminal. That black screen is also known as shell, and that is called bash shell. Okay, so in the Git, in this training, almost whatever we want to do in the Git for anything, we are going to use the bash shell of the Git. Okay, so in my case, because Git is already installed, if I search in my Windows, if I search for Git bash, okay, this app gonna come up, Git bash. After install the Git in your system, you will click here and it will give this black screen. Okay, and this screen is called Git bash or the terminal. And here, this is my Windows system only. Those who know Windows, in the Windows, whatever, you have a CMD command terminal. It is something like this. Only they give you some later extra look and feel. And in this terminal, they give some extra facility where you can run some command that is more look like Linux command. So even though this is Windows, but here you can run some of the basic command of the Linux. Okay, because we need some commands to test, so that give some commands to you. That is only things that different. Otherwise, what are the normal terminal of Windows, same terminal you will see here. Same with in the Mac also and Linux also. Okay, so otherwise, doesn't matter you have Windows operating system or Linux, the command of the Git that I'm going to explain you, they are exactly the same. There will be no difference in whatever the operating system you're going to use, right? This is one small thing. So this one thing. Second thing is, in the Git, there's everything is same, but I might have to use some of the Linux command here. For example, how to create the file, remove the file, something like this. Some of the basic Linux command I'm going to use. So if you guys are comfortable with Linux, it makes more extra benefit to you. Otherwise, maybe not everybody is comfortable with the Linux basic command. That is one of the reason I've shared one of my small video where I explain you all the small basic command of the Linux in your learning management portal that we have provided in by the hash study. So I think you got the mail when you do the registration or in the Git training. You guys got this video also. Okay, but otherwise, as if you don't know Linux, that's okay. I'll, as when I keep on typing the command, I quickly explain you the use of that command. Okay, don't worry about this. So this is the Git tool I have installed in my laptop. Right now, what we are going to do right now, I'm just giving very quick uh, information here, then we go for the practical part of it. Okay, so this is the folder we have, my working space. Okay, so let me very quickly create this folder. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to create one folder here. Let me very quickly again type, if I search git bash, okay, this term will come up. You don't have to do this same thing in Mac and Linux. By default, Mac and Linux give you a shell, so you don't have to worry about, you don't have to search anything in your Mac and your Linux operating system. So they give this terminal or shell to us where we run the commands. Okay, here what I'm going to do, I am going to create extra folder that's also known as directory. Okay, I'm going to create directory. Let's say this is the git training. Okay, 2022. So the one directory I'm going to create. Okay, and let me go inside this directory. And if you want to check where you are, your current working directory, right? This in this directory you are in my some of my other drive. Okay, but technically we are into this directory. So this directory is empty. We are just creating this directory. So in the Git, we are going to do a lot of practicals, and all the practicals I am going to post and put in this directory. And guys, we have also created one separate document for you in my Google Drive. So in the first break, or maybe by the end of today's class, we'll share this document to everyone. So it will be for the future reference. All the commands, all the diagrams that I'm creating here, we keep on posting in this drive. So you can use this document for a future reference. Okay, over here. Plus, we also share, okay, in upcoming days, some very powerful document of the Google where step by steps all the command would be written in your learning management portal. So in the future you can download and we can practice also. So this document plus other document we will post in your LMS system. Okay, so this is the folder where we would like to work now onwards. Okay, now what the plan is, the plan is something like this. Okay, a developer want to work in one project, and normally in the project, guys, depend, you want to create a website and something like this, they have to get multiple files. Okay, every file will contain some kind of code. Okay, and where the file is creating, this file is creating in obviously in a folder, and this folder was known as workspace. Okay, now what is a plan? I want, when this folder created, right, we have a file created, we want somebody keep on tracking. Okay, keep on tracking. What I mean by this, they keep on checking in this folder how many files we have. Okay, plus not in the project you want to copy all the file, you want to backup all the file. Maybe this may be your video file of having size of 10 GB. I don't want to back up this file because this file is already there in my cloud drive. So I don't want to back up this file. Okay, this may be my some kind of other photographs, right? I don't want to do a backup of the photograph, because when I say git backup, I mean to say commit. And normally in the photographing video, you don't edit anything, right? So one copy. So better we can put this copy in some Google Drive or some kind of cloud drive. But this file, file 2, file 1 is critical for me. This is a file where we are doing the coding. So this file is important. Because this, why? Because first of all, we are writing the coding and we keep on changing the coding. So I want point in time backup that's called snapshots, the way I explained to you already. Okay, so in one of your folder, you might have multiple file, right? There's a workspace. So let me create this workspace very quickly. Workspace like a folder. I'm going to create one more folder here, and let's say this is my first project. Just folder created. Folder. If I do ls, okay, this is pure Linux commands. Even though I'm in the Windows, but we can run the Linux commands by, because git bash gave this bash shell or terminal to us. Okay, so this one folder has been created. Now what this folder used for? This folder we are using for the first project. We're going to create multiple projects like this. Every project will do some more different testing of the Git. So this is one folder we have right now. I'm into this particular path. In this folder we are in, and now in this folder I'm going to create multiple files. Let me use a touch command. Is again Linux command. I'm going to get a file number 1. This is my code. There's a file number 2. This may be my video file. Let me give the name video, right? V file, or maybe file dot mp4, my video file. Then we have one more file, maybe my png image file. Let's say we have one more file I'm going to create. This will be my hello.c language file, my code. This is a normal text file maybe. Okay, so these are multiple files we have created. Okay, now intention is here is I'm into my working area. You can see from here also I'm into my working folder. Okay, and in the working folder we have these files. Now what you want to do? Okay, I want to have multiple versions of a file. Which one that would be that you can decide? You want to have a multiple backup, it's called versions, also known as commit of this file or other files. So technically this will be your choice. You can do a backup of all the files also. That will be your choice, right? But let's say my plan is to do a backup of this file only. Okay, this file I don't want to do a backup. Okay, and guys, again here the goal is not backup, right? If you want to do backup, we have a Google Drives. We can do a backup there. Here the goal is we have to create a snapshots multiple times. That's called versions. Okay, so let me differentiate now onwards. When I use the backup, I mean to say just have normal backup that you can do in other drives also, like Google or cloud drives. But here we are more focused on the snapshot part or the versioning part. So according to our requirement, I want to create a versions of this file only. This is what I am looking for. Okay, so in this case, if you want to do the versions, so what you have to do, you have to tell the Git, as a Git, I have this file. Can you help me to create a backup of it, or it's called version of it? Okay, and where we get the version, I told you, I can explain you. We create a version in area called commit area. So we'll tell Git you have one commit area. Okay, can you create a snapshot of this file in the commit area over here, file 1? Can you do this? Okay, so Git say I can do this file snapshot in the commit area. Okay, and when I create first snapshot, it will be your first version. Okay, I will do for you. But only challenge is when you do a commit can't run the file and file data directly from your working area. Okay, in between you have to put some intermediate area, and that intermediate area I explained you already. Okay, it's called staging area. So you have to first put your file information over here. Again, guys, I'm talking about it's not the entire data. You have to just put the file information. That's all. Information means file name, which file you want to put in your snapshot. So just give the file information. But one more info, guys, I told you about the snapshot is they're also doing tracking. So as soon as you put the data, okay, or put the information of this file into the staging area, Git start the Intel trackers. Okay, and what they do, they start monitoring this file. So as the developer keep on changing, updating, they keep on monitoring file, and they say, now I know one line has been added or deleted. So staging areas keep on keep on tracking also. Okay. Plus, second thing is whenever you want to commit, finally take a copy of it, a snapshot of it, and they will pull only from this area. 1 minute, guys, please. Only from this area. Why? I explain you already, right? because because your trackers is keep on checking and they keep on doing a marker like delete marker or modify markers or append marker, add marker. They keep on do this, right? So all this marker information stored in the staging area. That is one of the reason why we have to put in the staging area. Okay, one of the reason, there will be some more small reason I will keep on explaining you in upcoming discussion, right? So this is what guys explain to you. But in this entire process, I already have my working area, this folder available, working area available, right? But if you want, Git will store data in the commit area or the staging area. If you want to do, you have to first create it. You ask the Git, I want my some extra commit area. I want some staging area. I want your tracker to start tracking. Okay, so you have to create this. It's not available right now in the Git. Even though Git is available installed, even the Git command is available. There's no error come up. It's available. Git is there because we installed the Git in our laptop, but this part is not created yet. Okay, and guys, staging area plus commit area both together are normally, even though all these three area together is normally known as repository. So my entire repository is not created, I can say. This is called Git repository. Okay, where what repository contain your working area, staging area, and the commit area. So entire area is not created. So without a staging and commit area, we can't create a multiple snapshots. So we have to create the repository, and creating the repository is known as initializing. So it's called git init. So git init is a concept. It's called initialize, means initializing the repository. Even though we can check also, there's a one command called git status. They will check. And what they say, I am a git, and there's a one fatal error, and they say git repository is not available. And without git repository, I can't do. All the git facility won't be possible without the git repository. Okay, so how to get the repository? Pretty simple. Go to your folder, your working area where you're keeping your files, where you want to track or commit. Okay, just go there inside the folder only. First go to the folder and then the command called git init. That's all. One single command. And what they have done, they create initialized a git repository. Right now in this repository, everything is empty. Empty normally means none of the thing is there in my commit area or none of the things is there in my staging area. So this is pure empty. So it's very simple command. You guys might know this command, but I'm trying to explain you what git init do behind this. Okay. Now, as soon as you initialize in this folder, okay, some name come up. It's called master. So in my upcoming discussion, guys, we have a discussion on branching. So that point in time, I will explain you what is the master and the branches concept. So branches we have not discussed yet. Okay. Now this is a file again we have. So this file we have in this folder. This folder is called working area. But now if you do git status, because as soon as you initialize the git, now git start working. Now git is there in in your disposal to work for you. All right. So when I run the git status command, now you see something come up. Okay, one thing that come up here is git say now I started working, and what I know we have 4 files in your current working area, but none of the four file has been tracked. It means if you do any changes in this file, I won't help you. I won't help you. Something is happening. I won't help you to do rollbacks and other things also. I can't backup also. So if you want to backup this file, this will commit, even though if you see here, no commit yet. So if you want to backup, I can't help you. So first, you have to decide out of these 4 files, Okay, which file you want to track. Okay, means I can say in this way, which file you want to finally commit to create a snapshot or a first version. Okay, which file you want to commit. So whichever file you want to commit, first put the file into the staging area. Okay, only then I will able to track, and after track only, okay, my commit will work. Till then I won't do the commits. Okay, it's impossible, because it's not impossible means it's the way the Git created, right? So the Git say the most critical part is tracking. If there's nobody to track, how can I commit the delta part? Okay, the way I explained to you already. So the important point here is you have to first track the file. Tracking means to put the file into the staging area, and how that we have a command called git add, and then give your file name. So according to my requirement, I'm going to track this file. That's all. So as you put add command, this command will put this file into the staging area. So right now my file is there in my working area. Okay, hello.c, same file I added in my staging area. Added doesn't mean they create a copy of it. This file 1 GB, so they don't consume 1 GB. Add means they only put the information about this file, that this is the file I want you have to track. Till now there is no backup, right? If my system got hard disk corrupted, you won't have any backup right now, right? But you will see some difference here if you run the git status command. Okay, now you will see a difference. Now this file come in the green color, and it's been said new file has been put. Okay, and because this guy is put into the staging area, because you put in the staging area, now you can put this guys into the commit area. So you can say this file is only there in the staging area, and if you want to put this file into the commit area, you can put it. So from here, now we have a capability to put the file into the commit area. Okay, this is one thing. But these three files we can put in the commit area. But let me show you how we can put this file into commit area. Before this, okay, I want to show you one command. In the Git, there's one command called list files. There's a Git internal command. List file is one single option of the Git. What this command will do? This command will tell you how many file you have in your staging area. Okay, we can see from here also we have only one single file. So they show you only one single file you have in your staging area. So my point here is, if you want to see all the file in your working area, that is your normally directly in a hard disk in a folder, you can do list command. This is a pure basic Linux or maybe Windows command. Like in Windows, we have dir command. Okay, this is one thing. But in this folder, if you want to check how many file we have in the staging area, this is one specialized command for this. They will tell you only one single file we have in the staging area. Let me add one more file, add file 1. Okay, now we have 2 file in the staging area. So this command sometimes very useful to check all the file that are in the staging area. Okay, but if you want to check how many file we have in the commit area, we haven't added any file. So there's a command called git. There's multiple command, but the one simple command is called git show. Okay, this will tell you how many file we have in the commit area. So they say fatal error, you haven't committed yet, so we don't have any commits yet. So I have no commits, no no file in my commit area. Okay, so let me even though guys we can run this simple command also, get a status. So there's 2 file in there in the commit is there in the staging area. But if you want to put this file in the commit area, how we can do? So command is called git commit. Okay, and then give file name. Let's say I want to put this file hello.c. Okay, so this file will go into the commit area. Okay, and normally guys, because because of the way I explained to you, this file we are putting in the commit area. As I put in the commit area, now this file internally create one backup. That's called snapshot. And beautiful thing about the backup is, by chance if a main file corrupted or removed from here, we have a backup. From the backup we can do That's concept called restore. We can again restore the file. Again, this file will come up in your working area. Okay, this is one benefit. And other benefit is, if I keep on changing something in our main file, I will explain to you main file, the code, we can keep on doing the backups. That's called snapshot, or keep on creating the versions, v2, v3, something like this. I'll explain to you in the detail. Okay. So that is a reason, because in one file, let's say hello.c is one single file. In one single file, we have to create a multiple version 1, version 2, version 3. Why? Because we keep on updating the code and we can keep on creating multiple versions. So it is good practice, or it's a compulsory practice. Every time you create a commits, that's called versions or snapshots, you have to give some extra comments. You give some information, comments here. Comment 1, comment 2, comment 3. Keep on giving comment. Comment means just tell, okay, this is the first time we are doing the commit, or after this is the second day I did some changes in this file, I want to do commit. Third day I have some bug find in the code, I just rectify the bug on this line or this method or this algorithm. So keep on giving the comments. Otherwise, you'll see, guys, without the comments, your life will be very hard, because every day we are doing a commit hundreds of times, and we don't know, actually we don't memorize the time, right? I can't memorize at this point what was the time when I do some that changes. Okay, so comments makes the thing easy. I see the entire comments and check, okay, this is the comments I put at this time, this is the bug I rectified at this point in time. So we can do rollback, or we can see the data, what data we had at that point in time, right? So point is, comment is just a comment, the way you use the comments, right? So it's compulsory here to put the comments. What is use of the comment, I'll show you when we do the practicals, more practicals. But there's option here M to give the comments. Let's say this is the first time performing and doing comment. Okay, give a comment of more realistic, but I'm just giving some comment, something like this. Now here the commit is done, and this is the first time what we have done. Okay, we have created a backup or the snapshot of one file. Okay, and now this is the time my data actually is stored in the commit area, okay, over here. And this time they're consuming extra space from the storage. Technically they're literally stored in the final hard disk in the storage, but this time they created the version 1, that's called snapshot. And this is also known as version, guys, is also known as commits. Okay, commit, or also known as commit objects. So internally they create one commit object. Object means the one space they consume, and that space they store this information. Which information? Whatever they committed. So I can use the version 1, snapshot, or commit object. They are the same thing. But doing this process is called commit. But where they store that area where they have this backup, so the entire area is called commit area. But that part where this thing is stored, this file is stored, is called commit object. You can think in this way. Okay, even though they also check here, they say we have say one file, but in this file they have no data, because this file I created is empty. So they are very clear there's no data in this file, but they have been snapshot, or okay, they have been committed. Now if on the git status command, you will see some small difference here. Okay, now they will say this two file is not yet been tracked, no, in the staging area. One file is the staging area, but hello.c is been gone from here. Why? Because we store the hello c in the committed area. So status command doesn't show you anything what is there in the committed area, because status command say the current status what is going on. So they say main thing git do, we have to commit the file, right? But this file already committed, so there's no meaning to show the file that's called hello.c. So hello.c is there in the committed area. But there's one command you can use to check how many files you have in the committed area. You can use the show command. And this command give you a lot of information. I've explained about these information very detailed, very powerful information, right? Had other things we'll see in very detail. But show command will show you that we have one file. You can see the file here. So why they show in this way, every line has some meaning here. I will again explain you in very detail. Okay, but right now if you can see just by simple what I'm highlighting right now by this line, that this file is there in the commit area. This file is not showing file one or file one dot mp4 or file dot png or file dot mp4. That doesn't showing you. They're only showing you whatever data is there in the commit area. This is one thing. One more thing I want to tell you guys here is whenever you commit, okay, every time, let me write here. So whenever you commit, okay, every time they create one version, they create one commit object, and every version they give some name, and that name is called ID, and that ID is called commit ID. Commit ID, and commit ID is very important. We'll talk about more about the commit IDs in very detail in some time. But every time you commit, they create a commit ID. Okay, so you can see the commit ID over here. So when you're on the show command, they show you here. There's one big commit ID they give. It's like a unique ID. So this is the, you can think this ID is so important. This IDs know they know where my data is. Okay, in the backup part or in the commit area. You can think this. So if you lose this ID, you won't able to restore your data back, right? But otherwise, this ID has a lot more use. We'll see in a minute, right? In some time, I can say. But every time you do backup or the commit, they create a commit ID. So every time you backup, one version created. I explained to you one commit object created, and every backup, every version, every commit ID, commit object, they give a commit IDs, unique commit IDs. Okay, what use of this? A lot. Without this, nothing can be done in the Git. I can say in this way, but I just want to give this information to you right now. Okay, so this is one show command. There's one more command. They give you the commit ID. Okay, the command is called git log. This is also one of the command mostly we use. What this command tell you? They tell you multiple things. They tell you at what time you committed last. So according to my system, so around 4 or 5 minutes back, I committed. Okay, at the time of committed, what comments I write? This is what the comment I put that point in time. Okay, and what is the commit ID they create for you? This is a commit ID they create for you. So if I do one more time commit, you will see one more commit ID they create for you. So every commit ID you can think is a version. So this is version 1 they create. So you think this is equal to version 1. If I do one more commit, version 2 they create. And version 2 they give one more commit IDs. Okay, so you can think, and this is log is again one command to check. Okay, so let me do one small operation to give you more information here. So these are the files we have. Now what I'm doing, because this two files has been tracking, especially this file is there in the commit area. So what I'm doing, I'll use a cat command. This file is right now empty, and I can use the cat append command. This command, you know, this is a pure Linux command. I'm writing something in the first line. So I'm adding some, let's say this is my code I'm adding. Okay, and the control D to come out. Okay, so in this file, some new text or new code have been appended. Because this file is there in the staging area, let me clean my diagram a little bit so we can focus more on the main concepts. So in my working area, we have one file, second file, third file. We have one more file called hello.c. Okay, and this file we put in the staging area. Okay, over here, hello.c. And because this file is in staging area, so that is the reason somebody is keep on tracking this file. Okay, what I mean by this? Okay, because I changed something in this file. Now if you run the git status command, okay, you can see somebody is tracking your file and they say some change has been done in this file and it's called modified. Okay, so to your tracker added this flag or this marker and they say in this file something has been modified. Okay, something has been modified. Okay, but changes are not staged for commit. They say it has been modified Okay. But if you want to do one more time backup, okay, or snapshot of this, obviously in the commit area, right, you can do it. Right? We have done, guys, the one commit already once, right? Hello.c. So version 1 we already created, but we changed something. So my commit a sorry, my staging area, no, something has been changed in this file. Okay. So if you think you want what a change we have done, I want to copy again or commit again in my commit area. Why? I want to create one more backup. Why I want to create one more backup? You guys know, we have discussed already. So if you want to do this, so they are very clear. This file has been modified. Changes is not staged, means whatever change you have done, okay, is not stored here. This information is not updated here. We know something changed, but what changed we haven't stored here. Okay, so in this case, I have to do again git add on this file hello.c. Okay, and now if you see the status command again, that message is gone. Right, last one the message was the change is not staged for commit. Now this message is not coming here. So what we have done, all the things that have been changed, we updated here. Only the information part, right? Means at line number 1 has been updated or something like this, we updated here. Because till the time we doesn't store any update in the staging area, we can't commit. Now it's time to commit if you want to have a backup, right? Otherwise, by chance if this file deleted or removed, okay, we have no backup, we can't get it back. Okay, so if you want now to do a backup, it's called snapshot commit, you can do it. Okay, how? Same. Now this file is only there in the staging part. It is not there in the commit area, so I can do git commit. Okay, again in the same file hello.c. Okay, and I'm just giving the second change. Just give some comments here. Okay, or maybe let me write added line first. So just give some comments here. Now this time you will see one file we has been changed, and one insertion means whatever file you have added commit area in this file, one extra line has been added is called insertion. So you can see also they know some line has been inserted. Okay, and finally I'm doing commit second time, so second versions they have created, version 1 and version 2 they have created. And but if you see the git status, okay, now this file is not there in the staging area, but if you use the git show command, okay, you can see this command, this file is there in the git commit area. But if you do git log command, you can see something here, and with the log command, what you see now, you have two versions or two commit IDs, version 1 and version 2. See here, this is the version 2. Here, this is the command we added. So at this time, this is first version created with this ID. This time, after 10 minutes, I'm doing one more change, one more version we created, and this is the commit ID or the version ID we have. But git log command, guys, gave you a lot of information, right? Some of the time this information might not be very useful. So there's one option here is called one line. Okay, so there's one option. They only give you important one compiled information. They give you some initial character of the version name or the commit ID plus your comments. So these are the two important information which is mostly useful. So this command is very useful rather than we get the git log command. Right now we have just started, but you'll see after some time there's a huge comments, so comments and versions, so very harder to read the entire information, right? So this particular command is useful that give you a very small compiled information whatever we need in the future go. Okay, now this is the current status we have. Now it is your choice. This file is there in the staged. Okay, in the stage, do you want to put this file in the commit area? Maybe let's say I want to commit, so I can use the git commit command to put this file in the commit area. But let's say we change our mind. I don't want to create have a backup of this file. So we have file 1 here. We already added file 1 in our staging area. Okay, now I don't want to put this file into my commit area. Okay, and because right now I have no plan to put a commit area, I don't want also my tracker will track this file because there's no plan to put in the commit area. So what can we do on this file, on these files, we can untrack also. Means we can remove this file from the staging area. And obviously if I remove this file from the staging area, it will obviously go back into your normal area. It's like an untracked file then. So how we can do? So for this, we have a command called git. There's a multiple way again to do this. So git restore, and there's an option called staged. All right, your file name is called file 1. Even though they give most of the guys git restore command gives some help that might be useful for you to unstage. Same command I'm using here. So when I do so, okay, this file will remove from the staging area because I don't want to track right now. Okay, plan is I don't want to commit. That is the reason I don't want to track. So this become a normal untracked file. Okay, and now it become a normal untracked file. Okay, and what I mean by untracked file means if I do some changes in this file, for example, if I open this file, file 1, I put some data in this file. Okay, Git doesn't know something has been changed. We added something, it's not updated here. They don't say it is modified. Only thing Git can track the file only if you put the file in the tracking area, means the staging area. But if at same time, if I add this file back again my staging area with add command, okay, now this file is there in the staging area. Now at this point in time, if you do some changes in this file, I'm doing append this file as a new data I add in this file. Okay, now this file is there in the what I say, in the staging area. A staging area, there's some tracker is going on, so they track that this file has been modified. Okay, but what are modified data? We have it is not updated in the staging area. The file has been modified because we are tracking, but what part has been modified, which line modified is not being staged. So again, you can git add command again on this file to get back the updated content or the change content and information, not the data, information into the staging area. Okay, but you think now maybe you want this file also been stored in the commit area. Okay, you can do how? Same thing, git commit. Okay, the file name is called file1 dot with some modify new file added some comment name file1. So this gives some comments and one more, one file added with 3 lines of, in this file we have 3 lines, so 3 lines they inserted here. Okay, now if you run the git status command, okay, now these 2 files untracked and 2 files when the git show command is there inside. So we have file 1 we have added. Okay, recently it's come up here. Okay, so this is a one thing. So these are the guys basic thing. Is just these are the commands we have, right? Now point here is why we are putting the file in the commit area. Right now we are committed 3 times, v3, and at third this commit holding 2 information that in my commit area we have this file plus one more file also been added. So this is the version who know we have 2 files. This is a version that know we have 1 file. This version we know we have 1 file. Okay, and understand one thing, we are doing commit per project basis, per workspace basis. It's not per file. Okay, so technically in this version 3, they say in this version 3 we have 2 files. One file is called file 1 and one file called hello C with this data. But if you go to version 2, that one time we have only one file with some changes. Version 1, we have only one file with some changes. Like this, right? So so if you're on the git logs command, okay, so they create a version 3 with this comment, but in this version, or wherever this version commit object would be, and that object you have two file information, because at this point in time we added one more file, we had add the comments also. So in this at this time, or in this commit object, okay, they know we have a two file. Let me give the name v3. So v3 know we have two files with some data. Okay, so we have to, if you want to see something about this version, so they have a command called git show. So git show is one command you can see specific about particular version. Okay, let me see about this version. So if you talk about this version, okay, best. So just give git show command and give your version name or the commit ID, and they tell you, okay, at this commit has done at this point in time with this comment, and this time we had this file added, hello C. Okay, this is what they will be. We can see some more information. I'll just, this is one small command again I'm giving to you. But if you run git show command again on this particular file, so again they say at this time also we have hello C only. But okay, the show command also have one more interesting thing. This is the version 2, you can think. This is the version 1 3df0. Okay, this is the version 2 f46b. Okay, so what they're talking about, they say in the version 2 f4 something, this is a version 2. Okay, we have done some changes in the hello C. Okay, what changes we have done? Initially in hello C we might have no lines. Okay, you can see 0 lines. Okay, but we have added one more line plus one line, and this is the line we have added. So we can see the difference also. So git show command by default showing you difference. There's a diff command also git has. They're running some git difference command, and they're showing you between version 1 and version 2. Here they give A and B is just a tag they give you just for reference. It's nothing special here. You can think comparison between two different files. Sorry, comparison between two different versions of the same file. So this, you can think it's version 1, this is version 2. Okay, and initially in version 1 we have no files. In version 2 we have added one more new file, one more new line I can say. And what line we added? First line. No, I put the content first line in this file, so they are showing you. Okay, so git show is a good command. They're talking about again, even though this is the way I explained to you also, right? So it is something like this. Okay, it's something like this. We have version 1, then after this we created version 2, then after this we have created version 3. Right now I'm showing you version 2. Okay, and because I'm showing version 2, so version 2 is a child, version 1 is a parent. I explained to you this concept, and what they're talking about, they're talking about is version 2, what's the difference between this guy and this guy. So they're showing you in this version we have no data, in this version we have added some extra data, and this is what the data they've added. So technically they know, because they're maintaining the version, or because they maintain the version, they keep on checking the difference or the delta part. They say here we have 0 line, and here because the way I added here we have line 1, and the difference is 1 line. Difference is 1 line, and what line you have done. So you added the line or deleted the line. So we have a symbol here called plus. Plus means we have added this line. Okay, so version 2, we have added this particular line. Okay, this is one thing. But if you again run the git log command, okay, and if you try to see the detail of this particular version, Okay, the latest one I can say, latest one. You can see the difference in this version. If you compare with the just previous version, it's called, I'm just checking v3. So every version, when you run the show command, they always compare with your previous version. So between the previous version, right, what they're showing you, in this version we added one new file one, that's the true. And second thing, they are showing you in this file we added some lines, 3 lines, and these are 3 lines we added. Plus means we added this time, that was a true, we added. So that's what the show command is bring us. Sometimes show command is very much useful. One more thing, guys, if you run the show command without the ID, okay, they will tell you the latest version. By default, they tell you this is the latest version added. So you have 3 versions, get logs. Okay, so if you run the show command without any ID, they will point always to the latest version. Okay, show command will always show you by default what you have in the latest version. But if you want to see on particular version, you can just give the version ID. That's what the different point. One more thing, guys. This ID has a lot of use. One of the use I show you. If you know the ID, you can just check particular things. Okay, that way I explained to you. Let me show you the history command. If you know the ID, you can see at this ID you can think is like a version. So either I can use the word version or the ID. It is same thing. Okay, same thing. So so if you know the ID, you can run show command, and some more commands we're going to see that we can actually put on the ID if you know the ID. Otherwise, that won't work. Okay, but if you see, ID is very bigger in size, and most of the command, okay, most of the command, we always deal with the latest ID or latest version. Okay, so mostly you'll see there will be a lot of example come up when we talk about stash or rebash or merging or branching. So mostly the things that we are going to deal, okay, in on the latest version or latest IDs or the commit IDs. But the challenge here is ID is so big. Again, typing or copy pasting IDs is big challenge. Okay, or if I do one more time commit, okay, one more version gonna create it, v4, again they will have a different ID altogether. Again, updating the new ID on the next commands will be big deal. That is a reason, okay, because mostly we deal on the latest version or latest commit, and every time you do commit, the ID change. So we don't have to worry about knowing the ID. So what Git has done, whatever the latest ID would be or latest version would be, they give a nickname to this version or the ID that is always same. You don't have to memorize. That's called head, HEAD, head. Okay, so it means either according to us, the latest ID is this one. Either you can use this ID, or you can see also here they give the name here, but head. This name is same thing. So whenever you commit one more time, new version created, new ID created, but this name will be same. This name will be again tagged to the next one. Okay, why? We need head because I told you most of the command in the future, we mostly deal and do the things in the latest version. Okay, so rather than you just keep on running the logs command and keep on checking the latest version IDs, right? We don't have to worry about. We can use the head command. For example, I know the get show command. Rather than we use this bigger ID, okay, right, and do this, it will work. Or I can do get show head. That's all. Okay, they give the exact, this is the information they give you. Same information they will present to you. Same information. Okay, so so that's what, guys, is important to know. So now onward, whenever I want to do something on my latest version without knowing the ID or finding the ID from the logs command, okay, I will actually use this nickname or the tag or keyword called head. They always pointed to the latest ID. So that is the guys use of the head. Most of the guys know Git, they use the head, but I'm just trying to explain you the right use case why the need of head come in play. Okay, and working on the head on the later side, it has a lot of use cases. We will see in branching, merging, and other area also we will do. Okay, this is one thing. Now, one more thing is, if I run the get logs command, there's a different versions. Let's say I want to find something about this version. Then, guys, we have to give this version name. For example, get show. Can you show me something about this version? Because this is a very common activity. Again, obviously, because there's only way to know your version is the version ID or the commit ID. So use the log command, find the commit ID or the version ID, and do the things. But commit ID is very big, so that is a reason there's one more way. Rather you write the full ID, we can give initial 4 characters also. Or I can say the unique characters. So this D3DF0 is unique from others. So just give initial 4 character or 6 character till time you find some unique. Give that unique character, they will also work in the same way. But only 4. So minimum 4 you have to give, otherwise they give this error. Minimum 4, maximum 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, just keep on checking till time you find. Right now there's limited commits, so obviously everyone will be unique, but there might be chances somebody will have again 3DF0, 3DF0. So just check 5 character, 6 character. Till time you find a unique, you can type the things. This is also the quick way to work on particular ID. Okay, and that is a reason get logs one line command is good, because they give you initial 6 character that is mostly unique always. So from here very quickly, by looking at the command, we know this is the add first changes. So we know, because show command logs can't give the time is not always very useful, sometimes useful. I show you some of the use cases, but mostly what are changes we have done in our code is normally known by your comments. That is the reason writing the comments properly is so much important, right? Now, by looking at the comment, I can say I want to see something about what change I had done. So I by looking at the comment, I know something I changed here. I want to see. So just I take this name or ID, paste, and see the details. So I know I see at this time in this commit ID in this file we have added this line. Okay, so there's a multiple way to do the things. Okay, but if you want to see the latest one, you can use the head command. You don't have to find the ID, just use the head command and you can see the latest version change. Okay, but sometimes also very common. Okay, let's say this is the latest change. Okay, I want to just see the change, just previous one, just one previous. So mostly you want to see the change just 2 previous, because when you write the code, what I change right now, I want to just check just previous one, or maybe one back previous, like 2 previous, something like this, right? So we know head will tell you the latest commit, but you want to go back just previous one, you can use this tilde symbol and give 1. Okay, this symbol means they will tell you just previous one, so second, last second I can say changes that I added this line. Then if I run 2, second last change that I committed. Last 3, nothing, unknown, because we have already committed 3. So this is unknown. So because normally it's a very common thing. So rather than I go and find get logs, guide find the second ID name or third ID name. So we can do, I show you already, but this would be a better way to perform. So this tilde means I want to see the second last change. No, second one is third last change. So you start from head. So technically the first is 0. If you write this or this same thing. If you write this or this same thing. So this is the last change. Okay. This is second last change, third last change, fourth last change. I don't have. Okay. So this is a very, again, beneficial to use. Okay. So this idea. But again, understand one thing, this logs command, show command is giving the information only for the commits, right? Things that is there in the commit that means they have the version. If you have the version, then we can see the things, right? The difference and the other things also. Okay. Let me run one more small command, get logs, one line, one line. So we have these three versions. So even though in the Git, we have a one more command called get difference command. I can see the difference between this version and this one. Let me check the difference between F4, 6B, and 3D, F0. I'm just giving initial 4 unique character. So I want to see the difference between this version and this version. So between this version, in this version, we have no file, right? In this, technically they're seeing the difference in this way. So we have removed, means in this version, we had no, we have one line. In this version, we have, in this version, we have one line. In this version, we have no line. So they say something has been changed. So, but if I see, if I change the placing of this guy 646B, then you will say initially version, we have no file, but in this version, we have added one line in this file. So depend upon the order, what order you put these differences. Okay, but the good thing about the diff command is, if you see the difference between your first one, like A56D, and then 3DF0. So I'm checking the difference between this one, last change, and third last change. So we can see also. Show command, guys, doesn't show you, they show you the difference in current version and the last version, but you can see the difference between two independent separate version, right? It is something like this. I want to check the difference, what I have done here at this point in time between this version. So I want to see the difference between these two versions, because maybe this is the 26th date, the way I explained to you guys today. Okay, and this may be 28th of the month, right? Today my code is not working, but 26th my code was working. So I don't know what change I did, right? Why my code is not working. So I can quickly see the difference between these two versions, and accordingly I can rectify. Okay, I edit and remove some new lines. That might be the reason why my code is not working. So I can go into a code and do the changes accordingly. Okay, so diff is again good command to quickly see the things. But again, diff is working because we have multiple copy, multiple commit, multiple versions, right? That is the reason. That is the reason they are working. Otherwise, because something is there in the commit area, so we can see the difference. So point, guys, here is Git is not tool for backup. It's not tool for snapshots. We have a lot of powerful tool available in the market for snapshots, right? Git duty is to having the versions, especially useful most in the software code or source code management, right, perspective. So we can keep on checking the differences. It will help us in entire flow and management of the code. For example, something is not working, I can check, compare, and do it further. Otherwise, there's more benefit when we talk about the branches, working in the team collaboration perspective, lots more benefit, tons of benefit I can say you will see. And right now, I'm taking this topic in such a way that you guys are very new in Git. I'm explaining things again from the ground up, from the zero level, from the basic command, plus trying to give a command in the right way. It is not like this. I'm just giving the add command and showing you that we have to do add, because mostly if you see normally in any of the training, we most every say just run the add command is compulsory to commit, or add command put in the staging area, right? I'm not explaining in this way. I'm explaining you also why we need add command, why we have to put the staging area, what is the need of the staging area, what they do behind the scene, right? And if you know all those concepts conceptually right, further activities, what you want to perform in the Git, that's the advanced activity will be very simple for you. You know what exactly you're doing will be simpler for you. Now, interesting thing is according to our diagram, right? We have a lot of data in the commit area. This also working like a backup also. It means if some of the main file has been removed, how we can restore it back. Okay, or maybe It's something like this. We have hello Rossi. We have done multiple changes today, first day, second day, third day, fourth day. Fourth day, my code is not working, but I know my till second day, my code is working fine. But this version I had in my, or I have in my commit area. So how I can roll back to my second day. So my, this code is again updated. Okay. It is like a reverse. So how can I reverse? Very interesting. Okay, how can I rewind or rewind or forward or backward? This code reverse my code. So very powerful thing. It's something like this. Right now, if you talk about this file and this file, this line one, let me add one more line in this file. I'm appending by the symbol second line or second code updated. Okay, let me again add in my staging area. Then let me commit. Create one more version, okay, of this file. Okay, in, let's say, add new code in hello.c. This is a comment I'm putting. Okay, one line I added in this file, and you see there's one more uh, one line, one more version they created. And you see, guys, had already moved to next one. As the latest version come up, okay, rather than you remember as the latest version ID, you can use the head. So you run the git show command and say what has been latest been done. Can you show me the latest version? That is also known as head. So they say in latest version we have seen some change in this file. Okay, we have now two lines and one line we added. This is the line. So this was the line we had already. This is a new line we added in this file. Okay. Now in this file, we have two lines or multiple lines of code. Okay, so what can we do? We can go backward. I want to see what number of lines we had 2 versions back or 2 days back. Then we can come forward again, like a revise and rewind. So we can edit that is the reason it's called point in time backup, right? So we can go any point in time. That's called backward or forward, reverse kind of things, or rollback kind of things we can do. Okay, how? There's a very interesting concept we will see, and that concept looks very complex for a lot of guys, but because now I believe you guys are a little bit comfortable with the IDs, and you will be after having seeing multiple practicals, then doing the reverse, backward, forward, backward won't be a big deal for you. So that will be the next practical I'm going to show you. By the meantime, what I'm doing, right, just have your git bash ready. Just technically we haven't done much commands. If you try to see, okay, just try to do this practice if you want to do. This is one thing. Second thing, we'll go for a small break. Okay, but before the break, any Q&A you have, you guys can ask. So before we go for next practical, I'll show you how to do reverse, back, revert, all the things. Any query, any practicals, also any question, guys, if you have, you guys can ask. Yes, somebody asking me, we enroll for DevOps, especially I will cover real. Yes, there will be huge n number of projects we are going to do. Right now, the plan is we are covering Git separately, then Ansible separately that we are studying today after this Git training, then Jenkins. As the time you reach to Jenkins, I have lots of powerful end-to-end pipelines, different projects I have that I've worked with multiple companies. I'll share those use cases, case studies, and we start working on those real-time projects, right? Or the kind of live projects, I can say, right? So there will be, we have a lot of projects, right? It's very powerful. I've seen just by looking at the projects, uh, we get a very different exposure in this world of DevOps, right? What is this? We will discuss. Yes, obviously B1, if Lalit, if B1 got deleted, your entire data is linked, okay, as a parent, that will be also deleted. But they won't work the way it should work, right? So if your base node or your base backup deleted, your other data won't work. Either some of the part has been loose or the remaining part won't work in both the way you can think of. Okay. No, Sarda, it won't automate delete the older snapshots, right? Because everything is linked. Technically, try to understand the way I explained to you. There's no meaning to automate delete the older snapshot because everything is linked. If you go through my today's experience, right? B1 is the first backup, then second backup, third backup. So they are snapshots. They are linked to each other. So if something removed automatically or by manually, the latest one won't work. Okay. So um, uh, Shah, I explained you already marker and flag, but you're asking me to repeat again. But don't worry, this concept of marker and flag is keep on coming again and again. In my next discussion also, it will be revised, right? Uh, so that's what somebody asking me how to revert back and re-add the lines. That's what my next discussion would be. I'll show you how to roll backs and forward and backward, what can and how we do. We'll see. No, this course is not available for lifetime. There's a live training going on. This is not a recorded class. There's a live training going on. We haven't committed for the recorded classes, but we might provide you guys recorded classes for limited time access. How and when we'll update you. So Yusuf, there's no as such difference between Git CMD and Git Bash. Okay. Whatever you do in a Git command with Git commands in your Mac and Linux or Windows also, for example, if I open my Windows also, Windows prompt. This is a Windows command prompt. Here also Git command work. Okay. Everything what we do in the Git, they work here. Only difference between Git command, right, and the Git Bash is, by forget, Git Bash give you this kind of look and feel. They give you your workstation name, workspace name here, branch name will see here. They give you some extra Linux command that is not available in Windows. For example, if I try to run ls command here in Windows prompt, it won't work, but ls work here because this is the shell or the Git Bash. Okay, there are some, or maybe some extra features they give you. That's a different point, right? So otherwise, whatever run as a Git as a command, you can run anywhere. So wherever you have the Git available, maybe in the cloud, maybe in the Docker container, maybe in the Windows or Mac or Linux, these commands are exactly the same. This shell, Git Bash shell, gives some extra facilities like look and feel or some extra Linux command. That's a different point. Otherwise, Git is Git same. Okay. So yes, there's Rajesh, what you asking, it will be one of the discussion I'm going to discuss after the break, because there's a, when you commit first time, you might find some kind of warning come up. Okay, they will talk about set up your config username or email ID. In my case, that warning doesn't come up because my laptop is already been set. What I mean by this, Rajesh, good, thank you very much. I will share everyone this knowledge. So after the break, I will explain this point to everyone about when you run commit first time and install Git first time in the laptop, then one extra thing you have to set up, what I will explain you after the break. So there's a way, Ravi, available if you want to migrate from one uh, VCS tool or to Git. So there's a lot of migration scripts available or way available. Nothing has been foolproof, depending upon how you have been configured and used, right? But I'll try to give the idea, even though there's no plan of migration discussion in this training. But we get the time in this training in the last days. I will give the idea of, or maybe some demos I try to give on the terms of migration part. Okay, from migration for like for example, migrate for SVN to Git or something like this. Okay, so guys, when you're running the Git commit command, you might get some error or warning of author identity. They might give you run the git config command. Don't worry, just wait for some more minute. After the break, I'll show you that command. So thing will work for you. Don't worry. So why we're putting the file in the commit area? Ajay, I explain you. Let me again explain one more time. Without putting the file in the commit area, version won't create. Commit area is the one who actually create a backup for you. This called snapshots. Okay. So right now we are seeing the difference. So they are seeing the difference between two versions, and where the versions there in the commit area. So, okay, if you don't put the data in the commit area, you won't able to create two versions or two snapshots. And what is snapshot versions and what is use of it? I already explained you when I start the class today in very detail. So So guys, don't worry. When I run some command git show, there will be some more information will come up, right? So we have just started, right? We have just started this training. As we go and progress in this training, almost whatever you see in the git as a command options is output, right? You will be comfortable. So we will slowly go and start picking one more component and trying to touch slowly every component. You can't commit without the comments. So if you don't write the comment happen and I'm option, they will open one I can say text editor where you type the comments and save it. What I mean by the class, again, this also one small discussion I will take after the break. Okay, but comment is compulsory. Why compulsory we discuss, because there are a lot of commits happen. Memorizing the IDs obviously is not possible. So comments help us to give the idea what change we might have done at that point in time, right? But if you don't put the comment, they will open one text editor to type the comment. What I mean by this, we will discuss. So yes, Prashant, you can think snapshot is like a version is equals to commit ID, okay, or commit object, I can say. Okay, so you can think they are same. Yes, Arjun, we can directly commit, delete the commit also. We can remove the file from the commit area also. I'll show you those command in upcoming discussion. So how Git is using tree data structure? Sudhanshu, yeah, it is using tree data structure. Why? When we move to concept of branching, then you come to know. So Git is purely using tree data structure. Right now in this example, it doesn't look like it like a normal linear one after the connected. But when we go for next topic, you will see that is purely a tree data structure. Okay. So this session is only for Linux. I don't know what you're talking about. What you're asking is this training is all is for everyone who is there in the Git registration, right? Plus in the DevOps training. Okay, or obviously or the Earth student also. So there's these are the audience of this today's class. So after doing commit where the file store, Badal, it is stored in your local system right now. I'll show you how to store in the remote system, right? There's a different point. But If you ask me where they store, so in the location there's a one hidden folder they create called .git. Okay, I will have a detailed discussion about .git folder. So there I will show you where you can find the commit files. So in your local repository, they store in a folder called Git. So if you're in the ls command, there's one folder is hidden folder. You can see with have an A option. So there's a folder. So all the staging area tracking, and that's much more thing like hooks. We will talk about hooks, triggers also in the future discussion on the Git. Everything stored here. So we have a detailed discussion on .git folder in my upcoming discussion. How can I enroll in DevOps training? So Barkha, you can connect to our respect team or put in your WhatsApp group. Some will help you. Today we have just started DevOps. This is the first class for DevOps. Okay, of Git. Then today we have a next topic that is very powerful tool in the market in the DevOps world called Ansible. Okay, and likewise we have other classes also. So you can connect to our team. They will give the further calendar and how to register. They will help you. Okay. So yes, Niket, we are going to learn Git actions also. GitOps is not there, obviously. GitOps is not there. GitLab is not there because that tool require some DevOps knowledge. But I think in our DevOps training, if you are the part of DevOps training, especially there we have a GitOps or GitLabs, I believe, right? So we'll take this topic after Jenkins and Kubernetes, so I can show you multiple things to integrate, right? But yeah, here we have only uh, Git and GitHub. Actions we will discuss in this training. Yes, commit files are using internal storage. Right now they're using internal storage, but in the coming discussion, I'll show you how you can store the commit in a remote system also. Right now, I'm because planning here to explain those some concepts and some commands, right? Yes, we are starting DevOps from zero only, Mohit, from zero only. So I will share this doc to everyone. Okay, doc to everyone, where I put everything right. So can you again explain the staging commit area, Deepak? Yes, Deepak, I will explain, but better than rather than I explain separately. There's some more discussion, more commands gonna come up. So remaining commands will keep on explaining you the difference between staging area and the commit area. So can you please explain the below command? Kiran, I don't know where is below command. Guys, right now, guys, we have a Q&A in this Zoom meeting. So your query will come in any random orders. So I suggest whatever query you have, just put in one single message. Otherwise, finding up and down because I have huge Q&A here would be very challenging, right? So put everything in one single query, then post. As such, there is no limit, Himanshu, in the terms of snapshots. As such, no theoretical limit. You can keep on creating a multiple snapshot as much as you want. Okay, as such. Yes, we are going to Chintan. We are going to cover Git GUI also. One powerful GUI I have. I will introduce you maybe my tomorrow class. Today, I just make you comfortable with some of the vocabulary and concept. After you understand this concept vocabulary, then working with GUI or the GitHub will be very simple for you. So tomorrow, I will introduce GitHub and Git GUI also. Today, we are going to work only in CLI. So yes, machine learning training is also we by one specialized batch of machine learning and deep learning is going on. We are almost in the closer. So yeah, we do, but there is no further plan at least for some month for next class for machine learning. So it. So Srinivas, you can contact to my team. You can WhatsApp also at this number. They will help you, right, for further lesson for DevOps if you want to enroll for DevOps. Okay, so is any way to release version from two different? So save. Don't just. I'm just holding this question right now. There's one topic on branch gonna come up. I'm going to explain in very detail. So what a question you're asking, it will be solved over there only. Or if you're not solved, you can ask me again one more time. Okay. Priyanshu, is good thing you ask. Tracker tracks the file line by line or word by word. Technically, they are tracking the file line by line, not word by word. So in the line, if one of the word changed, they track the entire line. So for them is a one new entire line being updated or modified. So it's good thing Priyanshu you asked. Even though we have no concern, Git will do everything automatically for us, but it's good for our knowledge to know. Yeah, so tracker that is running in by the staging area is track your file line by line. Something changed in one line as even a single character also, they track one line, they replace the entire line with a new line. Okay, how to get with the ID? I'll show you, Rajesh, if you have this requirement. So maybe I use Visual Studio Code. I'll show you how to integrate with Git or the GitHub. Maybe in upcoming class I'll discuss. Okay, Kiran, you can use also this option also graph and decorate with one line. Right now we don't need graph or decorate right now, but in my upcoming classes when we have branches and merging, then I show you graph and decorate option that makes more sense that point in time. Okay, so the way I'm training you is as and when the thing require, I'm going to show you. So you guys know exact meaning of one line, git log one line, right? So when the need of graph option come up, I will give that option to you. So you can differentiate also the difference between the options also when to use what options in Git. Okay. So where it is gets saved in a cloud is a GitHub. We have a discussion going Rajan for this. We'll see. Okay. So yes, conflicting we are going to cover very detailed. So Teja, it is a very confusing topic. It look like confusing, but it's not. If you are following the concepts what I'm discussing to you right now, the further topic of conflict and merging and strategy won't be looks complex to you. It will be a very fun part. You will feel it when I take this topic. If you're really following the discussion what I'm discussing right now. Okay. Yeah, how to record data somehow is deleted. That's what my next topic after the break. That's what we are going to discuss, right? Yes, Hemant, we can find out also if some person added the code. So that code has been tagged in the version or the commit ID with the name. How I again show you. I will show you. So guys, there will be huge query, but believe me, by the end of this today and tomorrow class at least, okay, all the remaining query what I can see right now, mostly those query will be solved. Okay, so we have total 4 days this weekend, 4 hours, next weekend 4 hours. So everything gonna cover, right? And almost all the query what you're asking will be solved. We have just started, so don't worry about this, right? So let's quickly go for the break. Okay, go for the break, and it's around 11:30 in my system. Let's go for 20 minutes break. So at 11:50 IST time, we will continue. Okay. So 11:50 IST will resume. Okay, from break. Matic against you. To you. Let's add some more new information over here, right? So what happened, guys? We will see about how different team work in not different team. I can say how one team with multiple different members, right? Let's maybe Tom, one maybe Eric, multiple other persons work in one single project. Okay, so we have a detailed discussion on this. Maybe tomorrow class we will discuss it further in very detail about the management of the project, where multiple team, or I can say multiple member of one team gonna work in one project, right? So what I'm talking about, so this guy also accessing one of the file in the project, this guy is also accessing one of the file in this project. Okay, and what we wanted to know, we wanted to know when Tom changed something in the file. When I say change, I normally here refer commit. So when Tom commit something in the project in one of the file, same time maybe Eric also commit. So we should have some way, right, through which we can check which part at which time, which data on which file Tom has committed or Eric has committed. So accordingly we can do some more further decision on it, right? So it is good, right? Normally what can we do? For example, let's say this is the laptop of one of my team member. Let's say the team member is Vimal. Okay, okay, and Vimal obviously sitting in his laptop, right? So this is the Vimal laptop. Tom has their own personal laptop, and now laptop or system from which one individual guys work are also known as a workstation, right? So let's say this is the workstation of the Vimal, right? So in my case, let's say this is my Windows, and this is the workstation of of myself, my Vimal, right? So what can we do? Because now this we know, I know I have to work on from my laptop, and this laptop belongs to me. So what I can do, I can set one of my identity here. Okay, identity something like this. So when I as a Vimal work in this laptop, and when I do any commit in any of the files and projects, so that commit already or automatically tagged with my name. Okay, so what I mean by this, so when I do any commit, you guys know the git logs command. Okay, so when I do any commit, okay, we know how to add the comments. Plus, in this commit, my name and my email ID automatically tagged. So that will help us in the future if somebody, other team member also working in the same projects, how they can do in the same project. We'll have a detailed discussion on this. Okay, the team collaboration we will have a discussion on it. So when other team also work in the same project, and if anybody see in this project, they can very quickly see that this is the time when Vimal has committed something or Eric has committed something. Okay, so something like this. So for this, you have to do one setting initially. In my case, my laptop already I had this setting. Okay, so but in your laptop, if you install Git first time, this setting is not there. So I'm going to show you how we can do this setting. And without this setting, if you try to commit, the commit might give the warning or they might fail. Okay, so this is a one-time setup you have to do in your laptop to set your identity. So as you commit from your laptop, automatically your identity as author will be set. So in my case, it is already there, but how can you set also? I'm going to give this command to you. So command is git. I'm going to set something, or it's called config something, that in my laptop, any of the project I'm going to work. So example, this is the one of the project or the workspace. So technically guys, workspace, you can think also as a project. So in my normal discussion, if I use the word project or if I use the word workspace, it is the same thing. So in my laptop, any of the git project or any project I want to work, and anywhere I want to use git, I want to set my name and my email address. So I would like to do a global setting for all the projects. Okay, where I want to set my name or the username. This is the syntax we use, user.name. It would be Vimal Daga. This is my full name. So this setting has been added. I would add one more setting here in all the projects globally in my this laptop only. Okay, my email address also to be set. So whatever email address you guys want to add, you can add. For example, this is one of my official email ID I'm setting here. So that's all, guys. This is a one-time setup. And the global means here, okay, any of the projects you go in this laptop and you use the git command, this name as author and email ID as author will be set automatically in your final version or in your final commit. Okay, it's like this. Or you want to check the config finally, so you can see config. Can you show me all the global setting what I have done in my laptop? So you can list with L option. So if you list this, so in my laptop, all the settings I've done previously, it will show the entire list to me. So you can see email address and the name come up. In my laptop, I've done some more settings. In your laptop, it might not be there, but whenever we need, for example, when I go for merging tool or difference tool, I'll show you in my future classes how we can do further settings. So right now we don't require, okay, but I'll show you how to do the setting in the future, right? But right now we can go for this storage setting. If you don't do this setting and you try to do commit, your commit might warning or they might fail. That's what it is a compulsory right now to perform this setting, right? Okay, that's all. So there's one thing we have done here. Now let me do one quick thing. This project, guys, we have worked on. Let me go out from this project. You can use cd double dot. You go to the main other folder with this project created. Let me create one more workspace or let me create one more project. Okay, so there's one more way to do this. Either you can create from some folder first, then go inside and do git init. You can do in this way also. You can use git init command, and let's say this is my second project. So one command will do two things. Automatic this folder will create it. You don't have to create by yourself, and automatic in this folder, your git will be initialized. Okay, so two things will automatically done by one single command. You don't have to do one by one. So this folder is initialized with git. How can I verify? You can use git status command. If git status command work, there's no error come up. Okay, it means your project has been initialized. Okay, now what the plan, right? Very interesting thing we are going to do right now. What I want to do rollbacks. I want to go reverse and forward. Some kind of this setting I would like to show you. Okay, so for this, in this project, right now I have no file. Let me create multiple files. One file would be my.png in my image file. One file would be hello or h.mp4. One file may be hi.txt. One file may be hello.python. So multiple files are created. This file I directly created in my hard disk in my working directory. So git is there. So git says none of this file has been tracked. So if you do any changes, I won't help you. That's what, guys, I explain you already, right? So that is called untracked file. Okay, now it is your choice which file you want to track. I told you how to do this. Right now I am into my working area, working space. Okay, so I want to only track these two files. Okay, I want to track only hello.py. Okay, this two file I want to track. So this file has been added in the staging area. Okay, but one thing is, in maybe right now I have no plan to track these three files. Okay, I have no plan, but it is there in my project because my project requires some text file. Text file maybe contains some kind of data set for some analysis, some images and some video. It is there in my project because this is my company website maybe or mobile app maybe, but I don't want to track these files. Okay, so for this, Git has a capability they give you, because otherwise when you run the status command, they keep on giving this red color screen. They normally bother a lot. So my point here is I need this file, but I don't want Git will track or Git will give any kind of this kind of warning. Okay, so for this, Git has a capability. What you can do in your current what is this, in your current project or the working area, you can create one file, okay, file with the extension dot, okay, that's called, and name is called get ignore. So this is a special kind of file, ignore. And because the file name start with dot, so normally guys in Linux or Linux shell, any file start with git, these are the hidden files. You're not visible here. In order to see any hidden file, there's an option called A may say show me all the files. So this file also visible. But the beauty of this file is whenever you run any git command or special git status command, okay, they always check this file, and they check in this file and they try to find, do you have to ignore any file, do you have to use any file in the git for some further purpose, right? For example, I want to ignore file h.mp4. So what I can do, I'll open this file. So I'm using vi editor, guys. This is the one text editor in Linux. If you don't know how to use vi, you can use any other editor also, like notepad, or if you don't know these basic command of Linux like ls command or vi command, you can go see my Linux basic command video we have already uploaded in your learning portal. I think everybody has the access of it. Okay, I'm using vi. I use I to insert, and I say here any file that name is h.mp4, neglect this, means ignore it. Okay, then the project, but don't work anything on this file. So just give the file name, that's all. That's what we have to do, colon wq and save it. Okay, now this is the content of this file. In this time, now if we try to run the git start command, you can see this file has been ignored. Okay, which one? h.mp4 has been ignored. Okay, similarly, if you want to ignore other files also, like mpng or txt, right? So I can open this file, and maybe there might be multiple png files. So you can write star.png. So all the file with png, all the file with txt, or maybe you can also write star here. So don't have to give every individual name. Everything will be ignored. Okay. Now if you run the git stars command, now all the file has been ignored. But because we have created one more new file, so this file we can add into our commit area. Okay, so this file we can add because this file is contains some information which file to ignore. So git ignore I'm adding, and plus I'm also committing this file. Okay, commit this file, putting in my commit area with comment, adding git ignore. Guys, giving a proper comment is very important. Otherwise, right now for practicing you give anything, but in the real world, if you don't give proper comments name, it's very hard to understand at this point in time what we have added. So adding git ignore file. That's all. Okay. So finally, if you run the git stars command, even though in the workspace there's a lot of files, but because of the git ignore, because of this file, okay, because of the content of this file, we are asking Git not to focus on any file with this extensions, right? Only our focus area would be any other files. In my case, is py. Okay, that is one small thing I want to tell you. Okay, but if you run this git status command, this file is still in my staging area. If you think it's time to commit, if you want, let's say, let me check the content of this file is empty, but if you want to commit this file, you can commit it. How? Git commit. Okay, your file name, and you have to give the comment. But if you don't give the comment won't work. Either they give the error or they will open automatically your by default text editor. Okay, so if I hit enter, in my case, my by default text editor is a Notepad++. Maybe in your case, your Notepad or gedit or vi, whatever would be your text editor, they open for you. And here they say, do you have to pass your commit message here? And so my commit message I can write here. This is first time I save hello.py. Okay, something like this. Just save this, type this message, save the file, Control S, close it. So this is also one of the way to give the message, but it's look very tedious. So that is the reason we always give the comment with M option. but there's two way you can put it. Now, if you see the Git status, this message say my working area is clean, nothing to do there. We have multiple files. Either this file is ignored or this file is there in the commit area, but everything is clean. So this message say, okay, whatever you want to commit, you guys have done. You can run the git log command, and you can see there's a 2 times we have committed, one for the ignore file that normally we commit initially, and this second time we are committed. Okay, and better I can use one line to see the main information here. Okay, now it's time. What I'm going to do here, I want to show you guys one more small thing, very interesting thing. If you want to check how many files you have in your working area, a simple ls command we can check. Okay, you want to check how many files you have in your staging area, you can use list file command. Okay, so there's 2 files we have in the staging area. Okay, similarly, if you want to check how many files you have in your commit area, okay, so git show command only showing you the last file we added in the commit area, last change, right? For example, I did change 2 times. This one I added 1 file, this time I added 1 file. So the last one or last version or last commit that is linked to head also they show you. Only this file they show you, but I added other files also. So if your requirement to see all the file in the sorry, in the commit area, this is for the staging area. But you want to see all the file in the commit area, something very useful, right? Something very useful I can say. So there's one command called git show. In the show command, okay, I am looking for the name only. Okay, name only of all the files. Okay, so they give you this name hello.py, but here I would like to check the entire tree. Technically, this is the last one again they're showing you. So there's one other command. Let me use that command. So in the git, there's a command called list tree. So this command has a capability to show you all the file in the commit area. But this command is giving you warning because here you have to give the information of your tree. I will explain you in my next discussion very detail, right? But here they're talking about we have multiple comments, and obviously this is the last one we added. So till here, all the file that you added, I want to show the details. So I can write here, I want to show everything till here. Because you guys know, you might have had commit hundreds of times, but last commit, there's some name. That name is has been also give the name head. So just show me all the detail till this commit or till this version. Okay, so here guys, they give you the name of the file. So this is one of the way. There's some other commands also available, but this is one of the best way. If you want to check all the file that is available in your commit area, these are 2 files because we added, they show you here. Okay, this is one thing. Plus they show you some other information also. What are the information maybe useful we will see in the future, but right now I want to only see the name only, not other details here. Okay, so we can pass one option called name only. Because now here they're going to give you the name of the file that I added in the commit area. So this is a good command, sometimes very useful. I want to check all the file in my commit area. So I told you guys there's 3 different areas. Okay, one is the working area, also known as work in progress. Command for this is ls. These are the files. Then we have a staging area. Let me write sa. The command for this guy is git list files. Okay, and after this we have to put the file in the commit area. Let me ca. Command for this is this one. This is a file you can use. Okay, but any file in the working area, if you want to remove, you can use simple Linux command like rm. I can use rm command to remove because this file is there in my hard disk. I can actually store from my hard disk, and basic Linux commands you can use. It removed. Okay, but if you have this kind of requirement, any file you have in the staging area, okay, that has been tracked, and that file you want to untrack. So this command I already given to you guys. There's a restore command I given to you. Okay, how to untrack one particular file. So that restore command I show you today, you can use. But if you have any file, let's say in my case, we have one file in my commit area is called hello.py. Okay, so hello.py file is there in my commit area, means we have a backup copy of it, means we have version of it, means we have a snapshot of this. Okay, how to add in the commit area? With a commit command, you guys know. But if you want to remove this file from the commit area, okay, how can you do this? How can you remove a file from the commit area? So guys, take this as a small homework. Tomorrow I give this answer to you, but if you want, just try by yourself as a homework. How can you use or remove particular file, okay, from your from your commit area? Okay, how we can do this? Or in the commit area is not only one single file. We have version v1, v2, v3. Maybe have a requirement. I don't want to remove this entire file, but I want to remove last two version of this file. I want to keep the only one single version in my commit area. A lot of use case related to this, right? Because commit area is very, very critical. When I start explaining you about distributed version control system, when I start integrating with multiple branches, or you guys might integrate this, get to any CI/CD tool like Jenkins. You want to upload this repository in the public repository like GitHub. So commit area is the one who decide what data you want to send. So this discussion is not yet done. Very critical discussion we might discuss in tomorrow class. So having a pure control in the commit area is very critical. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, so maybe we put a lot of data in the commit area, but I don't want to share everything to everyone, right? So we should have a way to remove something or add something. Adding is we know commit, but how to remove particular part, that you guys take as a homework. Okay, so otherwise I'll show you in the tomorrow class how we can do. Okay, so there's a once more homework I want to give right now. Okay, so next practical that I want to show you is this part. So right now we have one, let's focus on this file only, hello.py. So we have this file in my commit area. Okay, if I talk about my status of the tree, 1 minute. State of my tree is clean, nothing to do any changes. But if I add something in my file, hello.py, let me add the first line. Let me add the code. My get status say something has been modified. Okay, you have to put first into the staging area. Let me git add. I added this thing. Then they say now this file is modified. You have to put in the commit area. So I say git commit this file name with some comment, added line in hello file. Okay, and everything is clean. Nothing we have to worry. Everything is clean. Means whatever data you have in your working area, same data has been synced with your backup or the snapshots. That's what this guy is talking about. Okay, now if you see the logs, one more commit has been created. Now what our plan is, let me add 2 or 3. I want to show you how we can do reverse and forward. Something like this I would like to show you. So let me add a second line. Okay, and do the same thing, git add and commit. But because this file is already been committed once, so next time if you want directly this file to be put in the commit area, okay, so this time you don't have to use add again and again. Okay, if you want just to put only in the staging area, you can put add. But finally, after staging area, you want to put this file in the commit area, you don't have to use add again and again. Okay, you have to use only initially once, right? Then in the future, you can keep on using commit. That's all. So this one step will be saved, and you can say second line edit. Okay. So if you run the status command, guys, everything is clean. Okay, and you finally one more commit has been done. And let me do one more time why I'm doing this. You guys understand in a minute. Okay, I'm doing one more time. Let's say there's a third line. I'm adding Control D to close the file, and this is the third line. I'm adding one more time. Let me do so again. We do some more good practical. Bye bye. All right, and one more time. I'm doing. Let's say by commit. Okay, so technically this file, if you just try to understand in this way, this file we have created. Okay, we have created version 1, then version 2, then version 3, then version 4. This is the last version. Every version has an ID. There's a commit ID, and they have also a name called head. Okay, and this version has some data. So remaining version has other data. This version has other data. This was other data that we can explain to you. Okay, so initially whatever data you had is stored here. Anything you change, a delta part is stored here. Anything you change, then delta part is stored here. Anything you delete or add, delta part is stored here. So anybody try to read this data at this point in time, they will see the entire data. This concept I explain you guys today. Okay, but point here is what I'm trying to show you here is, so if I run the logs one line, so these are multiple versions we have. Okay, now what I want to show you here is, right, let's say whatever data you have in this file, okay, in this let me just draw this diagram here in this way. 1 minute. So right now there's a two different storage. Okay, one storage is these. This is a storage. Storage means this data is stored in your hard disk. That's called storage. Where in your commit area, separate location altogether. And so one storage in this file that is again there in the storage, but it's stored in the separate storage altogether. As such, there's no link of this storage of this storage. Okay, but this storage you guys know is known as a work in progress or working area, and this storage you know is a commit area. Okay, so what I'm talking about right now in my working area or working space, okay, we have this data, and this is the latest update data been added by our developers. But there might be something after we added, there might be something not working properly. We have some code failure, but we know last day or last version everything working fine, or last to last version everything working fine. So how can we do rollback? Okay, technically what I want to do, all right, whatever data till here is same thing because we have already committed. Okay, the data that is there here is same as this one. Why? Because recently we committed, my git status is updated, clean, is mean whatever data I have in my this file, exactly same data we have in my commit area. So data till here is same as this one. But data that I had at this point in time, or this point in time, or this point in time is very different. So my requirement is I would like to go at this point in time, even though if I show you with a time perspective, okay, I want to see what data I had at this point in time, this date or this date. Okay, so I want to go back. It is called rollback. Okay, one reason is I want to see my code at that point in time. It's not about code. You can use for other purpose also, for document also, and other thing also. So how we can do? So there's a concept, guys, called reset. Okay, very powerful concept. We will discuss in this concept very detailed. So there's a one concept called reset. Okay, so we can do the resetting things, and there's three different kind of resets. right? One is a hard reset, one is soft reset, one is mixed. So this concept I'll take in very detail. Very interesting. The different use case, different reset we are going to use. Okay. But tomorrow class, today I'm just showing you very quick demonstration, right? What I mean by this. Okay. In my commit area, my data last commit is linked to head, or I can say pointed to the head. Okay. But what I want to go in my commit area to version 2 and say whatever data you have at this point in time, I want this data you have to give me back. Where? To my work in progress area. Okay. What I mean by this, I would like to go to to my commit area. This is a commit area, guys, and say commit area. This is the time. Okay, let me copy and paste. We have some data in my file. Okay, which file? This file. Okay, I want to go to this point in time. Okay, and want to have my whatever data you have here, I want to take it back. So for this, I say git, I want to reset something. Now there's one message come up, reset, and when the git logs command, thing is same, there's no change. But what this guy has done, okay, they updated your staging area, and now staging area is pointing to this time or this commit ID. Okay, which one? 712, this commit ID. Okay, what happened till now? Nothing happened, right? If you're on the your file, everything is same. But internally you're set. If you're on the git status command, internally you're set in your staging area that in this file we are pointing to this version. Okay, this version. Now because your staging area know we are pointing to this version now. Okay, what can we do? What data we had at this point in time, we can take back in our working area. Okay, working area. So technically I'm just going backward, roll back kind of thing. And for this, there's one command called checkout. I want to check out this file. Okay, so this file. So the updated one. Now what happened now, if you're on the cat command, you can see guys, now 2 lines come up, right? Technically in my current project, this file contains 4 lines. I show you already. But as soon as I check out, they take me back where at this point in time. Why here? Because we have done some reset. Internally guys, here they're using mixed reset, but don't worry, we have a detailed discussion on this. So don't guys bother about this term right now. All the reset will do something for you. Different scenario, we do use different one. Right now, the example like this I'm showing you is a mixed reset. What is this also? We will discuss tomorrow. But I just wanted to show you, okay, what is the use of the versioning, right? Because we have the version, any point in time we can go back at any point in time, and whatever data you had at this point in time, we can take it back to the working area. So this is my commit area, and from the commit area I can take my data back to my work in progress or working area, okay, of any of the versions. So at this time we had 2 lines. So you guys see here 2 lines come up. Or maybe you want to again go forward, you want to go for v3. So it's pretty simple. You should know the v3 one line. So this may be your v3, or maybe this one will be v3. So what can you do? Again, you can reset. Say I want to go to at this point in time. Okay, which one? This one. Or there's one more way to do, because you know guys, the current data is linking to head. Either you can give head. Okay, you guys, I explain you byte of a head is the end is number 0. And if you want to go for second last change, you could go for 1, third last change, fourth last change. You also use this one also. So either I go finding the ID and type by myself. I say, I know I want to do a rollback, but I want to go for second last change. Okay, I can write 1 here. So again, I do reset and I do whatever data we have at this point in time. I want to do checkout. Okay, now your data will come to your working diaries here, 3 lines. Or maybe I have to do reset again. I want to go for fourth last change, third last change, or fourth last change. At this time, again, let me check out. That point in time, I have my head 1 line. Okay, I see this is what data we have. You want to do some changes, you can do it, read the content, or if you want to just go again to the last change you have done, 0, either you can write in this way or this way, same thing. Again, check out, you will get the latest updated data, what you have, latest updated data. So there's one of the cool feature. Otherwise, multiple different scenarios, multiple different kind of reset we might have to use. This is one topic I will show you in more detail in my tomorrow class. But this is a way, guys, how can you roll back, go back and forward and see other data. And if you see this information in GUI, that makes more interesting, right? For example, this is my folder. Let me go to my graphical, means my GUI. Okay, so what I mean by this, let me go to my this system, Windows, Daga, and we have created a folder called Git Training something. Let me go to this folder. This is my 2 projects we created. Right now I'm into this project called second project. This is a file we had. And right now in this file, this is my working area. In this file, if I open, this is the 4 lines we have. But as soon as I I go back last, second last or third last change and check out. Okay, in the same working area, content be updated. Okay, so if I open this file again, let me close. Right, open this file again, you will see all the 2 lines come up on the fly. Same location, you just your file is being data be updated. Okay, so you can see by this kind of visuals also what I'm talking about. Right, again you go to 0, you will check out again your part of the latest updated data come up to you. Right, so because this is possible because we have versioning, right? Otherwise otherwise it won't work the way it should work. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is also reset because versioning is happening, but we have a detailed discussion on it, and again I told you in the next class. Okay, one more small information I would like to tell you here is, in Git you will see slowly there will be a lot of commands. The command become very bigger, like log command. And log command, we use one of the options, right? So you don't have to memorize the options. Mostly commands come with the help. Okay, you can have an H. You can use help to see some other options they support. Okay, sometimes you can use the help with help command. Okay, so every option have a different help, or maybe sometimes they use help command to open that particular document, right? So they open this document over here, and here they show you multiple different helps. Okay, all the different options that that Git logs provide. Plus also good options here. For example, and plus also they'll give what option they can write. For example, one of the option that we are using here is this one was what, 1 line. So you can find 1 line option. Plus they have more options, right? Depend upon the use case. So they have very powerful. Let me search for 1 line. Yeah, so this is 1 line options they have. That's why you're using, right? But depend upon requirement, we keep on coming to this document, right? This is what we are using, okay, to use more options. So there's no meaning to memorize the option side. As and when we require, just come to this help and this document and look for the options and add it. But you will see, guys, slowly as we go more deep into the Git, we have just started first day. Okay, so this is one option we added, but you have to write more options like graph and all and decorate and much more options. We keep on picking from here for different purpose, and the command become very bigger. and that is a command we have to use always. So rather than you typing this big command again and again that we use very frequently, we can give this command a nickname, and the nickname, guys, is called alias. And how we can say create the alias? So we can tell my git in my, because this is for you, right? Everybody has a different name. So example, I want to give this command a nickname called my frequently used command, or my history, because they are the one who give the history of the logs. So you can give your own nickname, something like this. Okay, and because this nickname you are giving for your own laptop, so anything that you set up by yourself for your own workstation, you can use git config command. I'm setting in my laptop, and this setting I'm doing globally. Globally means in my laptop I might have multiple project, so I'm setting this thing globally. Okay, and what I'm going to set, I want to set this command nickname. That's all. You just put this command into double quotes. The nickname of this command is called myhist. And because this is a nickname is also known as alias. So this is one keyword you have to use, alias, alias dot. And let me give an alias called hist. You can give any name. Okay. And I don't have to use the git command here, because git command obviously we use. You have to use the further options of the git. So this is the final command you can use. So what the benefit of this command is now onward you don't have to use this entire big command. Instead, you write this command, you can use git hist also. It will give the same output. Hist command is not the part of git, but this command and this option we have created, this is called alias. So whenever you run this command, behind the scene, they run this command. Okay, so right now this is very simple command, but in the future, there will be a lot of big command that we use very frequently in the git. So okay, having the aliases is always a great choice to have. Okay, and even though we can run config global, okay, and we can check the list, all the things we have created. So this is the one alias I created in my system. You can create more with the different name also. Okay, so there's the one small thing I would like to show you. Okay, otherwise there's small things I'm just showing you right now. Then we will move, guys, to the branching. And when we move to branch, then the main fun part of the git start. Even though if you talk about the git, we just search for the git. So we search for the git. Okay, so it is a fully version control system. What is version control? I explained to you, because we have versioning, we can go back and reverse that what I showed to you. But Git is not only version control, they are distributed. Very powerful feature Git has. Distributed and centralized, both the things get support. So my tomorrow class, I will talk about centralized. Next class, I will talk about distributed. We can create our own local setup in multiple machines. I'll tell you how. And then I show you the power of the Git distribution part, right? So we'll talk about it. But yeah, version control, at least we got the idea VCS, okay, that help you to handle your project, to quickly roll back and some other things, right? And if you see very quickly the Wikipedia of the Git, the one of the core part of the Git is the tracking changes. So any file that you change, the track, and this is because of your staging area. I explained to you, they do these changes, right? But Git has a lot of more features of collaborating with the team and other facilities. As again we progress in this course, I will explain to you. Today, first day, I'm just trying to give you some vocabulary concepts. So next class is when we go more deep into the Git. So if you guys familiar about these terms, what we discussed today, commit area and staging or head, so things would be very simpler for you. One more small information I just want to share with you. Git is actually developed by Linus Torvalds, and this is the same guy who created Linux. So I think everybody know Linux, and the godfather and the creator of Linux is Linus Torvalds. The same guy is the one who created a Git. Just for your knowledge, those who by chance doesn't know. One more information I want to tell you guys, I was lucky because for anybody who are from the open source guys, and Linux guys, if you are here, This is the guy who everybody dream of to be sometime get a chance to meet with Linus Torvalds. So I was lucky I got a chance to invest some time with Linus Torvalds. I think in LA, Los Angeles, I was there. I spent some time, had a great talk with Linus Torvalds, share a lot of informations, also get a lot of insight about how the thing work. I'm lucky. So as my profile, I I always try to meet with multiple different creators of the technology from Docker, like Linux, Solomon Hikes. So even though if you see my LinkedIn profile, so you will find me with other creators of the technology. Maybe you can find, I might have posted this, the Solomon Hike, creator of Docker, creator of Core OS, likewise, right? So just I'm just giving this information, means nothing technically. So so that is one of the reason I just trying to get a way to he's a CEO of OpenStack, right? And this is the from Linux Founders Redactor. Yeah, this is the gym, right? So I was with him for some time, got a chance to meet and get a lot of information, right, about Linux and especially Linux, I can say. But the guy behind the Git is also Linux Torvald, just to give you a value of this product, because Linux Torvald is the Linux Torvald, right? Okay. So there's one small information I just want to tell you. Now, otherwise, there's some more small things we can do, right? Uh, to uh, for example, in the Git, okay, this is a file. Let me quickly create one more project so I can show you some small things very quickly. So let's say this is my new project, number 1. Okay, we created. And in this project, let me create multiple file A, B, C, D, 4 files we have created. My plan is to add all the files. So we can do very quickly add dot. When I add dot, all the file that is there, they added. All the file go to a staging area. Okay, so dot is a way to attach all the file. But only those files that is untracked, and only those files untracked that is not there in the Git ignore. So I have no Git ignore here. So all the files are untracked, and all the files that are untracked, dot will add in one single go all the file in the staging area. Okay. Now from the staging area, if you want to commit particular file, you can give the file name, or you want to commit all the file one go, you can use dot again and give some comment. Let's say first comment. So in one single go, all the file also being committed. Okay. So that is again one of the reasons why we have a staging area, because mostly this is a very common command that is there in a practice dot dot. Okay, but in our project, not all the file I want to commit at one go. Okay, what I mean by this, if I go and create one more new Git project, there's a new project number 2. Okay, so maybe I might have multi-file, touch A, B, and C, and D, multiple file, but I don't want to commit all the files, but I want to use dot because I have hundreds of files. I can't do manual one by one. So what I can do, at the time of adding, I'm going to add only A and B, or let's say C also. 3 file added in my commit area. This is not. And interesting thing is why, sorry, I put in the staging area. Interesting thing because I put in the staging area, now I can run git commit command dot with some comment, let's say ff something. So what commit command do, even though you have 4 files, but whatever the files available in staging area, they commit in one go. So dot is a very common practice we do. Okay, but to control the dot, we can again use staging area. This again one of the reason, one of the benefit also of the staging area. So all the file that is in the staging area, they pick and they put in the commit. Okay. So now onward, you will see very frequently, not in the real world also, you will see very frequently we use dot to quickly put everything in the uh, uh, commit area. Okay, but now if you do some changes in the A file, let me put something. Let's say you do some changes in the B file. Okay, something changes. We have a tracking. So they said two file has been modified. Okay, so normally we have modified. So what first we put in the staging area, then we put in the commit area. Okay, so what can we do? We can use commit. Directly we can comment with, so let's say new added new, and we can write dot. All the file directly go to commit area, or even though we can also use one more option called A. A means is a way to do a express or quickly commit. So A will also do, if you write A, if you don't write A, it's the same thing I can say, but normally you can see this option a lot in the market. A means all the file that is already be added initially in the commit area, but if something may change, so first add these things in the staging area, then put in the commit area in one single command. Okay, doesn't make any sense here. Why not making sense? Maybe because some of the versions they support have an A, but let me use without A also. But this A is also one of the options. In maybe in this version they might not be working properly, or mostly they work in single file also. But I'm trying to tell you guys, this option, or if you don't do this option, this same thing is a express commit. So giving you small options that is very much usable in the market and that you see very frequently. That's what I'm just giving you very quickly here. Okay, one more small thing. If you want, let's say in the Git, okay, we have some files, ABC is there. Okay, and my requirement is to remove the file. Okay, remove the file from all the areas. Okay, guys, the homework that I have given to is different, right? My homework that I given to you is how to remove the file from the commit area only. I want to keep my file in my staging area and the working area, but I want to remove my file from the commit area. This was the homework I had given to you that you have to try by yourself. I'll show you the answer tomorrow. Okay, but right now here my requirement is I have file ABC. Okay, these two files, or let's say file number A, I want to remove from all the areas from my working area also, staging area also, and my commit area also in one go. So in the Git, we have a command called git remove A. That's all. So this command will remove this file from all the areas. From here also, even though you won't see anything here, they will mark and deleted. So this file will be removed from all the areas. This is one thing. But you want to remove all the file from all the areas like commit and working areas. Okay, so then all the files, then rmr you can use and dot. rm is recursively, they remove all the file. We have only two files left, B and C, they removed. From here also, plus if you try to see the files from staging area also they remove, or I show you the command, guys, you can check the file from this command I show you, git list tree name only head. Okay, it is there, but technically this might be one marker, but technically data has been removed. So they might be showing you here in the tree, but they are actually removed from the this area. So if you want to remove all the file, this is the command you can use. That's what I'm talking about, from all the areas. And if you see here, there's one marker, there's this put that is there, has been deleted. Okay, but after you delete the file, okay, after you delete the file, you can update your commit area. That's what the marker is coming. So updating, you can again do there's a command called git add update. Okay, this is what you can do. So even though there's nothing changed come up, but but you can do git commit, just normal commit to update that something has been deleted. So then this marker will go. Okay, for maybe some time. Let me check one more command. A, this might update it. Is rename. Why the rename come up? C has been renamed to T. I haven't done this. 1 minute. Let me commit with some options, some name, some comments. So now this marker has been updated in the commit area. Now it's been clear. So after delete, they only do the marker because we deleted some file, right? The file has been deleted. So just update by commit. Means something have changed, just update this. But my point simple is, if you want to delete file from all the locations, you can use git rm command to delete and remove. So these are the some basics commonly used operations you can use in the git to perform this. All this guys history I will share to you. Plus in your LMS portal, learning portal, we will also provide soon a document where you will find all this command plus some more command you will see there. Okay, this is one thing. Next, guys, we those who are into DevOps specialization track, at 2 o'clock today we have very powerful tool training. Highly recommend anybody who want to do something great in the DevOps world. Having the knowledge of this tool is very critical. That is Ansible. So today we are going to start Ansible also. Those who are in the Ansible training or in the DevOps track, at 2 o'clock we will continue. Otherwise, I recommend for everyone also. That's all. So this is first day for Git, guys. 3 more days of for class. We have tomorrow. We go for branch merging strategy, reset all the options, and some more other powerful tools we are going to discuss in the tomorrow class. Same timing, 9 o'clock in the morning, IST time, right? Any other queries if you have, guys, till now, what we discussed today? So we have some time. You guys can ask me. Otherwise, just install the Git. Again, guys, you don't need Windows. Whatever the operating system you have, Git command work exactly the same. So any of the operating system you can use. So that's all for today. I believe just in 1 day, I'll try to cover a lot of things here. But any queries if you have for today, you guys can ask. Okay. I'm not belong to developer background, so I have to learn programming. No, Jatin, I don't think so. Today you see any code we require for the Git, right? Git is a tool used for any purpose, not only for developer. Mostly they use for developers. Okay, but even though you're in the DevOps world also, they are not developers, right? They have their own kind of uh, text or content they write. There also you can use Git. So technically, any kind of document that you want to control with the versions, right? You can use Git. You don't need any developer background for this. Plus, this is also one myth about DevOps track. Bro, guys, believe if you're not the developer, you can't go for DevOps. It is not at all. DevOps is more like your IT operation admins. So there is no need to have any developer background knowledge to learning any of almost any of the DevOps tools like Jenkins, like Ansible. Okay. so so one minute, guys. So any new training on Docker container? So there's no plan right now for Docker container, but any schedule we have, we will update you guys. So one of the great current which Reddit courses are good to do. Reddit has multiple different courses, but one of the most demanded course and the product from Reddit is Ansible and the OpenShift. Right? Two things I always recommend as if you talk about more about Reddit product perspective. So file if hard disk crash, then provide it so guys, right now we are just learning the Git, but this is not the better way to manage the Git, right? So technically we always connect our local Git repository to the remote. How, we will see tomorrow. how we how we connect. So by the time if your system crash, you have a backup copy in the remote system, and this is also a way to work with a team also. What I mean by this, tomorrow we'll discuss. If the rollback the version, the head version changed to, it depend upon which type of reset you're using. So tomorrow I will tell other resets. So hard, soft, and mixed reset that we'll discuss tomorrow. So depend upon the reset, your head will change accordingly. So what I mean by this, tomorrow class I've explained to you, Chiman. So anything Kubernetes and Docker, it is there, guys, in a DevOps track. So if you are guys the part of DevOps, uh, it will be there. Lingana, you guys can join Ansible training at 2 o'clock IST time if you are the part of DevOps track or the Ansible track. Yes, in Jenkins course, we are included Groovy. Groovy is there, okay, because we are going to create a pipeline as a code, very powerful feature of the Jenkins. So there we're going to use Groovy as a language to create the entire pipeline. So that is one of the powerful part of the Jenkins, right? So it is there in our Jenkins course. Okay. GitHub session, maybe guys, we might start GitHub, might be from tomorrow, right? So tomorrow onward, we'll take both the topics together, Git and GitHub. Today, just we have created the entire base, a lot of concept I covered today. Now, this concept is enough to start GitHub also. So maybe tomorrow onwards, we might start GitHub also in parallel. So I can see guys same message multiple time. Yes, Sati's DevOps course include automation of Linux with Ansible, Git, with integrate Jenkins. A lot of things is there, right? Tons of powerful tools we're going to integrate in this DevOps track. Git checkout purpose. Git checkout has a multiple purpose. When I go for branch, you will see more purpose of Git checkout. But here, the demo that I show you today, when I reset my pointer to one of the version, so I ask my checkout, go there in the commit area, get the data, and update my working space. So that was the purpose for today's checkout. But the checkout has some more things to do. When I start branching topic tomorrow, I will show you. Yes, Shankar, that what the concept of Git distributed version control. We can commit our data from one machine to another without having GitHub or Git centralized system, right? How? Maybe next to next class, I will show you very interesting feature of Git. So So nice. Thank you very much. How much space consume by staging area and same as parent? When I show you the internal of .git folder, right? Then I show you where the staging area is. Then you can go and find the size. This is one of the way you can find the size consumed by a staging area, right? So Vani, please share the course content DevOps training. It is there in our website. I asked my team, they will put the URL of the DevOps training. So there you get the course content and what we are going to discuss there. Yes, Git workflow, we are going to discuss in upcoming classes. So in the Git, we have workflow concept. Maybe next to next class, I will explain you how Git workflow work. I think it's there in the content. So I'm just checking for queries here. Some of the queries may be not relevant for today's class. See, Abhishek, without Git init thing won't work. Git init is the one who create the entire staging and the commit area. I explain you this concept to you. So Prithvi, I use have a new option that has some other purpose. I thought it will work here. Whenever I need have a new option, while I use last, right, I thought it will work, but in that scenario it's not working. So when I use the hyphen u option, I will explain you that point in time. But here the last things that I was showing you is if you delete all the file with rm command, you can just finally commit it. That's all. You don't have to use hyphen u option. For hyphen u, we have a different purpose. I will show you the right purpose for the hyphen u option in Git. Add command. Okay. Why we need to put data in staging area? I think I explained to you this concept. So for Alok, for the Git GUI, I'm going to use one very powerful tool. I will tell you the tool name tomorrow. Very powerful tool, have a lot of features. So for Git desktop kind of thing or Git GUI, that the tool would be used that I will tell tomorrow. Can we restrict staging or commit? Ankit, if you can elaborate what you mean by restrict, means what you want to achieve, so I can properly guide you. And don't forget how to attend Ansible. Arun, Ansible is a part of DevOps track. If you are the part of DevOps track, then you can attend. Or if the part of Red Hat Officer Ansible training, examination part, then also you can attend. So I don't know which uh, training you are the part. You are the part. Yes, Vinith, we are putting git ignore in both the areas, staging commit, because git ignore is a file I want to keep with me. Okay, save. And anything you want to save, and anything, any file that you want to save with you, we have to put in commit area. And obviously, before we put in the commit area, we have to put in the staging area. So that is the reason we put dot get ignore file in staging and then the commit area. So we will share guys this entire today's screens and the commands history in your Google Drive, and Google Drive link we will share soon in your respective WhatsApp group. What different reset and the checkout command. We have a detailed discussion person. I show you one quick demo as a demo today. Reset and checkout. The proper use of reset and the checkout you will properly come to know in my tomorrow class. We'll talk about these two commands in very detail. So that's all, guys. There will be much queries I might have not yet touched, but I believe this will be somehow covered in my next classes of Git. Okay. So that's all, guys, for today. That's what the plan for today is. So we'll see you in next class tomorrow, either today in Ansible or maybe tomorrow in the Git. We'll see you there. Bye. Take care, guys, and all the best.